It's Friday night, October the 3rd, 2014, and we're at Darling Stadium, where your local sports channel is going to bring you the Kecoughtan Warriors versus the Bethel Bruins. In-town game, in-town rivalry. Here with my host, Bob Hintz, and Frank Edgar, and Paul Rowe down on the field. And we're looking forward to a great ball game tonight, Bob.
Oh, let me tell you, the weather is perfect, Brent. It's just a nice little breeze out there. It's probably in the low 70s. It'll be in the high 60s before it's over. But this crosstown rivalry, we've got some athletes on both sides of the ball on both teams. We're looking forward to a great game tonight.
Well, when you start talking about athletes, you can start with a young man for Kecoughtan. I'll let you talk about him in a minute. But we're going to go with, I'm going to talk about Bethel a little bit. And they've got a young man by the name of Quentin Lee. I love his size. He's a running back at 5'10" and 210 pounds. He's a Sean Williams type of kid. And you wait to see what if he can't find a hole, he's going to try to make one through your chest.
Well,
I mean, he's just that kind of a runner.
He also plays linebacker.
Yeah.
And I knew his dad when this kid was about 4 or 5 years old. His dad wanted to get into coaching. I told him to go over and talk to the Bethel coaches. He went over there and volunteered. Ended up over at Great Ridge as one of the assistant coaches. Quit that so he could come back and watch his son. Ran into him. He used to work at Costco. I don't know if he's still there or not, but great guy.
While we're talking about this, let me give the officials for tonight's game. At referees, James Dennis Hicks. At umpires, Alonzo Bell. Linesman, Donnie Young. Line judge, Eddie Wazinski. Side judge, David Gear. Field judge, Steve Woodward. And back judge, Mangenius Jackson. Good crew. And I want to thank again our head man for the officials. You know who I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Mick McCullough, very quietly, when I called him, he said, Brent, I got everything for you. We talk about the officials and the games from last week, and I always enjoy talking to Mick. Thanks again, Mick, for your help. Now, let's talk about this football game.
Okay, the other side, you got a quarterback by the name of Savage. This young man, just a junior, has been just outstanding at passing the ball. We are ready for a great game tonight. Before
we get into that, why don't we talk a little bit about our wonderful food that we had tonight and who provided that for us.
You're talking about our catering sponsor?
Catering sponsor. I'm glad you can say that. I have a hard
man,
time
I'll
turning
tell you
over.
what. You and I have been over the Grey Goose. We have eaten over there. They're only open from 11 to 3, and then they have specials during the month. They've got a I Love Lucy murder mystery going on now. They have the gal singing in December. But the food, look at right there. You can see where they are. We're going to pitch it down to the national anthem. We want to thank the Bethel Band for their rendition. This is a mega reunion, or coming in, all the classes are coming back in for a big reunion at Bethel, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
I have to tell you, you've heard me say this before, this is one of my favorite things when we go to watch basketball games and football games, to look around and actually still see people still stand up and take their hat off and put their hand on their chest. I just love that kind of stuff, and I'm hoping we're not losing it in the nation. We really need to get back to it. And Bethel did a great job tonight. That was a good job on it. They look good. I love watching the camera work. And our camera guys really did a good job.
We got some great camera people. Want to talk a little bit about our camera? We got Randy
Bagoli, try that.
Bagoli, I'll get him out. Susan Bowers, Rebecca Bray, and Steve Fryer. Our cameras do a great job. Graphics and animation. Dave Buckwalter's son, Matt. Now, Dave Buckwalter used to do the plaques and stuff that we used to give player of the game. Nice to have him here.
I understand that Buckwalter's son is not his middle name.
Oh, it isn't?
No, it's Dave Buckwalter. Son, not son. Okay, go ahead.
Slow motion, instant replay, Krista Campbell, camera control operator Greg Lesko, chief engineer Don Chiraus, engineer Greg Lesko, audio Don Chiraus, and who also our director, Andy Foley's our producer, executive producer, and then we got myself, Bob Hintz, Bud Musgrove, Frank Edgar, and Paul Rowe. What a great crew we got.
Well, there's Frank. Look at there. That's what a lawyer looks like, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't got the idea. And if you need any legal help, give Frank a call.
And you got to have the facial hair?
Yeah, he keeps my card in his wallet just so he calls and checks on me. I don't ask for him. Anyway, let's talk about this game. You were talking about Savage. Young man comes in throwing 67+%. Yeah. 15 TDs, leads it.
Had his first interception last week. We got Paul down there on the sideline.
At Nina Robinson 1025 at gmail.com.
We're looking for Paul. We're trying to see if you want us to talk to him or not. We're trying to find him. But anyway, let's go on with this. We did earlier tonight. We're going to get to show him to you in a minute. Bob and I both got to talk to our respective coaches. Bob went over to Kecoughtan this week, and I went over to Bethel. And earlier tonight, we got a chance to talk to him. So in a minute, we'll show the interviews that we got to do with them. But meanwhile, you're talking about Savage. I want to talk about Bo. Bo Morgan is the third-rated quarterback in the district. He comes in tonight, and he's right at 59.5% completion with 7 TDs. Bethel doesn't throw as much as Kecoughtan does. Well, they got a quarterback at Kecoughtan that has proven himself, and he's just a junior. Well, it's going to be fun to watch.
A little bit about Bo Jackson. His dad, Victor Morgan, played at Bethel for Kozlowski. His nickname was Mongo. And I mean to tell you, he took care of the line.
Oh,
he's done some coaching and with the little kids, bringing them up and everything. But good to see another generation going to Bethel.
I'm always fascinated with you and Frank's family history. You guys ought to put together a book about the lineage of all these players, and you know all the nicknames. It's just amazing to me. All right, let's talk a little bit about a young man I want you to watch for Bethel, and that's number 10, and that's Darrell Brown. Now, he's listed as a wide receiver, only 5'9", 155 pounds. I talked to several of the coaches over there this week, and they said, watch this young man. He cuts quick, he moves fast. Well, while we got a chance, why don't we go down? Bob had Coach Coley tonight down on the field, and we did this interview earlier, and let's see what Coach Coley had to say to us. Let's slow it down there.
Coach Coley, 4-1. You got to be happy with your team, especially the way you guys played defense last week.
I am happy. Last week's effort was really good. I felt like against Hampton, we kind of let one get away from us. We looked well on defense, but offensively, but defensively we struggled a little bit. So
you have one turnover, and it kills you. What a great game, especially from the fans' point of view with the Hampton team. I mean, you couldn't ask for a more entertaining game.
Absolutely, everybody was up and down the field. Both of us were, when you have two great athletes out there that are really competing and guys going at it, it happens that way. So.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Desmond Savage. This young man has really impressed me with his release. Coach Smith said he's got one of the quickest releases he's ever seen.
Well, that's high praise coming from him. Being here so long. Desmond is a great quarterback. We're hoping for great things from him. He puts a lot of work in, so yeah, it shows.
Well, see, he's just a junior, so you got to be tickled you're going to have him next year.
Absolutely. Like I said, he kind of knows everything. It's been really, really nice to have him here and really run our offense.
All right, let's talk a little about the Mitchell kid. Scat back, hard to catch, really put some numbers up last week and the week before.
He's a very elusive because he's so small, and one thing, he's a very strong kid for his size. So it's kind of a good package he has with the strength and the speed there.
Well, because a lot of times with the little kids like that, they can get behind a big lineman, you can't see him.
Yeah, he kind of gets lost. And like I said, he's real powerful, so it helps out.
All right, let's talk about Nick Carrera. Senior, been with you forever, and really is a good all-around athlete.
Nick's a great athlete, started on the basketball team, It's been a 4-year starter on varsity for us, so it's been a staple of our program.
Talk about his leadership ability.
Well, like I said, being around so long, he's seen everything. So, he's unflappable. He really is the anchor key that steadies our ship. So he really, is able to tell all the players about what to expect.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what you expect from the Bruins tonight, Coach.
Well, always good up front, always big strong kids up front, and they have some speedy kids too. So we'll got our hands full tonight.
What do you think about the Bo Morgan kid?
Oh, wow. That's a good-looking kid over there, I tell you.
Well, we're going to have two good quarterbacks. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, good interview, Bob. And what I like the fact is when you hear these coaches talking about their kids, it's not just they're talking about football. When we get a chance to go over to the schools, you hear them talking about their grades, their parents. They're keeping up with these children. It's a whole new world. And one of the biggest advocates, not only Kecoughtan, is Coach Bubba Hooker, the gentleman I got to talk to tonight.
Well, one of the other things I wanted to bring up real quick is they have a study hall also like they do at Kecoughtan. Academics is very important to all these coaches.
Well, while we got a chance, the players are coming out on the field. Let's go back down where I had a chance to talk to Coach Hooker earlier tonight and see what he had to say to me. Bethel Bruins, Bubba Hooker. Coach, just going over it again, 45 years you've been in coaching almost, 20 years in college and going on 24 plus in high school ball. It's got to be a real pleasure for you to be able to affect these kids with all the experience you have.
Well, we try to. I mean, we try to treat them like we treat our own kids, and punctuality, character, being on time, studying, doing what's right, making good choices on and off the field. All those kind of things. Some of them it's a little harder than others.
Well, Coach, you come into tonight's game 3-2, 3-1, same conference record as Kecoughtan. They come in 4-1, 3-1. I want to ask you a question that's a little bit different. This kid's savage. Young man, he's a junior. What do you see? How do you compare him to other quarterbacks you might have seen this year or in the past? What do you think?
No, I think he's good. There's no question about it. From what I understand, his dad was pretty good when he attended Bethel. So, I think he's a good quarterback. But a quarterback is only as good as the people that are around him. I mean, he's got to have good protection, number one. He's got to have good receivers. So, but he's definitely a good quarterback. There's no question about it. They've got a good football team.
Coach, thanks. Let me go to a couple of your players real quick. First, I want to talk about your running back, Quentin Lee. This young man just impresses me. What I like about him is he's got a little size on him, 210, 5'10". When he hits the hole, he hits hard.
Quentin's a good football player, and he plays the inside linebacker for us too. So I mean, he's got a chance to play at the next level. He's a good student, good kid, good character. He's a good football player.
I'm going to ask you about your quarterback. Everybody's talking about Savage. He's at 67% completion, but your young man is third in the district, coming in right at 60% with 7 TDs. Talk a little about him for us and what he means to the team.
Bo's a good leader. I mean, he played a little bit sparingly last year, but he does a good job of leading. And here again, our protection hadn't always been great for him, and he's had some drops. But he's a good quarterback as well. So we rely heavily on Bo.
Let me go to this one last question. This game evidently means more than most people might think. If you would tell the people what this game, because both of y'all are in the same conference, what this game means tonight and why.
Well, I mean, all games are important. We don't get caught up in the conference and the playoffs. I mean, everybody wants to win the state championship. You got to get in the playoffs to be able to do it, and obviously your conference games are important. But we try to tell the kids, do the best you can. Be who you are, play hard. Practice hard, play fundamental football, block and tackle, pad on the pad, leverage, all that kind of stuff. And, if you did your best and you win, great. If you did your best and you lose, so be it. That's just the way the game goes.
Well, this is not a last question. I just want to say lastly, Coach, thank you so much for all your help when I come over to the school and taking the time with us and giving us all our information. Thanks again.
Glad for what y'all do for high school sports.
Kecoughtan's on offense.
Kecoughtan is on offense, and we received they got won the toss, and they won offense. They showed some great offense in the last few weeks.
Well, I think this is an unusual night. Kicking off for Kecoughtan is going to be.
No, for Bethel.
For Bethel is going to be Chase Deaton.
Well, who's the kicker for Kecoughtan?
Chase Thomas.
We got two chases.
Yeah, got a long chase tonight. I'm telling you. It's the first time I can ever remember. Not even Johnson and Johnson have been the kickers before. This first time I don't remember two chases. That's just rare in one game. Anyway, while we were away, there's a kickoff. And it looks like, oh, he put it in the end zone with a great kick. Bob, why don't you talk a little bit about the new kicking regulations while they're getting set up, where he kicked from the sideline.
Well, he can kick, but you got to have at least 4 guys on each side, on the side of the ball. You can have
Between
5 and 5 or 4, but you can't have 3. You can't overload one side, and they can only go back 5 yards on the kickoff. They can't go back 10 yards to rush down the field. And again, that's they're trying to safety for the kids.
Okay, we're going to have Kecoughtan's offense when we get a chance to show it again, but the first time, of course, under quarterback. After this down, we'll get into the, Bob's going to get into the offense. Savage in the eye. Back for his first pass. Got him out of the pocket. Nice catch. I don't know if it's going to be ruled good.
Yes.
He's called it
he
good.
He put his feet down. That was great. That was number 3.
Tyler Chris, a nice catch on the sideline, and that was a good, well, let me see where he got a good 15-yard pickup right there, Bob. All right, let's go with the offense if you got a chance.
Here we go with the offense. You got Godwin and Pauling and Nixon, Hollis, and Brown. That's your front 5. You got split end, Burwell, flanker, Grundy, H-back Chris, tailback Mitchell, and of course number 11 Desmond Savage at quarterback. And they could call that the pistol rather than the shotgun because he's got a running back behind him. So they refer to that as the pistol rather than the shotgun.
Well, that's 2 passes he's thrown so far, and he's hit them both. He's holding his average. That was Grandy, the number 1 receiver in the district, Bob.
Well, they tried to run that bubble screen, and they only picked up a yard on it. Bethel did a great job right there. As you can see, number 15 for the Bruins just did a great job, and that's Chrisley, T.C. Chrisley.
When we get a chance, we'll bring Bethel's defense up for you. And that's a nice play, saved by Jersey, number 24 again.
Oh, man. Folks took his jersey off, but there was a nice hole on the right-hand side.
And here you go with Bethel's defense. Of course, got Ian Bell, linebacker, Aaron Edwards, linebacker, Quentin Lee, inside linebacker, T.C. Chisley, cornerback, Corey Ricks at tackle, Desmond Denny at inside linebacker, Brandon Slade at defensive end, Josh Williams at defensive end, Josh Hagens at guard, and Jeremy Owazu at safety. And, of course, Josh Owazu at cornerback. So we've got them all in there. Names are a test for us tonight, folks, but we're going to give it to you the best we can.
A great job that time. It was a sweep around the right side, it looked like picked up about 3 yards, Brent.
Was that 24 again, Bob? I was reading at the time. You know me, I can't do 2 things at once.
Well, lucky us. Yeah, that was...
Well, I have to tell you, this game, we watched Kecoughtan come out against Hampton. And Kecoughtan's offense up and down the field. I mean, it was like clockwork. The coaches calling them good plays and moved them right down the field 5 out of 6 times. It was wonderful to watch.
Oh, they tried a little slip drag.
Delay draw, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it was a draw play, but they draw the man in motion trying to move that middle linebacker. He did not move. So that's going to bring up
3rd and 7, I think.
A long one. Yep.
Our statistician, Frank, next door, is keeping everybody posted.
Well, we got a great quarterback in the Bo Morgan kid. In the Savage kid. He's got such a quick release. I watch him warm up, and for Mike Smith to say how quick this guy released, Mike has seen some high school quarterbacks.
Yeah, if he's going to talk about you, he's seen a few. Yep. Here we are at 3rd down. He's back to throw the pass again. Nice fake. Look at this. Nice run. Picks it up and goes down and saves the injury.
Well, that was he got kind of tripped up. He stumbled or tripped over somebody's foot. But watch this thing. The coverage down the field was great. And watch what he does. The pocket breaks down and he just outruns the big guys. Nice move there to avoid 2 guys. He just went down. I thought he tripped, but he didn't.
He just smart quarterback. Get your yardage, get down.
As his daddy told him, be good, careful out there, and look good.
Well, like we saw him earlier this year, so far they're moving the ball. That's number 5, I believe, carrying the ball.
Yep.
Let's hear it from the Northampton Bruins.
Fugate was carrying the ball that time. And he only picked up a yard, tried to go off the right side and slipped over to the left side, but the Bruins are big on the line.
Well, that Jason Fugate, he's quite a little runner himself. I mean, he's only leading the district in rushing TDs. He's got 10.
Wow.
And everybody's talking about Savage and everybody else. Of course, you brought up Mitchell earlier. Probably got a chance to talk about him.
Oh, what a great little athlete he is.
In that Hampton game, he showed himself. He had over 215 yards rushing in that game against Hampton. It was quite a game. And that was number 20, I believe, wasn't it, Bob?
Yeah, he tried.
That was Victor Mitchell, the young man we were talking about.
Right, Mitchell tried to go to the off tackle, and it was blocked up, so he spun, turned around, and ran right into some Bethel Bruins. These guys are big.
They're trying to bounce it.
Well, this is the first third and long they've had tonight.
Well, they had a 3rd and 7 on the last series. This is what, 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 10?
Yeah, well, it's longer than the other one, right?
Yes, that's right. Right on top of it. And there's that bubble screen again. You see the blocking. Huh?
Well, I tell you, the Bruins are doing a great job on that.
But I'm going to tell you something, folks. That's a hard pass. He threw that to Grandy again, but I mean, that's a long pass.
That's what I'm saying. He's throwing it from the hash mark on the other side of the field.
Yeah, it's a tough pass to make because the field is sloped. This is what the average person doesn't realize. The sideline is lower than the middle of the field.
Yeah.
And so.
And that's for the drainage purposes. Now, why he's going to call
timeout.
Coley is going to call a timeout because he's trying to figure out, do we want to go with this, try 4th down and where they got about 3, or should we try to punt them, keep them deep in their area? What?
Well,
this is almost 4th down territory.
Well, they're at the 30, like you say. If he puts it in the end zone, he only picks up 10 yards and will bring it out to the 20.
Kecoughtan's cut timeout, wanted to figure out what to do, and I like this because this is your opening down. You got the ball. If you can go down and score, you're going to set a tone. Well, if you remember in Kecoughtan, when they played Hampton, they did not punt one time.
No. And they run a very controlled offense. They want to eat the clock with a mixture of passing and running.
Yep.
And so far, they've been able to do that tonight. I think that's the they picked up 3 first downs so far, I think. And here we are, coming up in a 3rd down and about 6.5, 7.
They got a double wide out to the top.
4th and 3, I'm sorry. And that's Mitchell. And he's picked it up.
Looked like he got it. The spot gave it to him. Looked like he's crossed the 25, Grant.
Yep, he picked up about 6 yards on that play. That's the young man that was so impressive before. I know I keep saying it, but everybody likes to talk about some of the other runners for Kecoughtan. But this young man is going to impress you. Fugate and Mitchell, what a team.
Yeah, they can double team you all night long. One gets tired, bring the other one in.
While we're talking about it, they got a tight end down there for Kecoughtan that you and I both are really high on, not only for football, but for basketball. And that's Nick Carrera.
And the coach, Coley, said, great athlete, starts on the basketball team. He can get position and get rebounds better than any kid his size I've seen in a long time. Remember, you see the guy that played for Hampton a few years ago. Undersized, but can get the rebounds.
It's just amazing to watch him. I love watching him play sports. And, of course, Carrera is number 6 out there, the tight end. He's actually listed at about 6'3", 195. Yeah. But he'll catch that pass across the middle, and he's not afraid to go there. Well, let's see what we got. We got 2nd and 9. He's back for the pass. He's getting chased. Well, I think they got him this time.
There's no place to go.
He's going to lose about 6 on that, and that's going to make it 3rd and 15. Let's see if we can see that again. See who got in there. 59, that's who we were talking about earlier. Watch this replay. They put the pressure on him. 59 just ate his man right there. He put the pressure on him. Look at that.
Yeah. He just half a step late trying to get out of there, trying to look for the place to pass the ball.
And that was Corey Ricks, number 59 for Bethel. He goes both ways. He's a man among boys in a lot of ways. Corey Ricks is 6 foot 290. He's going to be something to deal with. that bubble again to see if they can get it. They're going to keep trying it until they break it. But they're picking up yards with it.
Number 24, Keith Grandy, did not want to go down.
No. Okay, he picked up about 3 on it.
Yeah, but it's now it's 4th and what?
4th and about 12 or 13.
Yeah.
I have to refer to the statistician. I can't see that side of the field. Become a blur over there.
You want some binoculars?
I got some.
Oh.
But by the time I get him up there, they're doing something else. And I got self-adjusting binoculars, and it still takes me 20 minutes to make them work. Well, it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th.
Yeah, they
What-
got
what
to
would
now.
What would they gain? They wouldn't gain that much. Oh, there it is.
Oh, right.
Now, who are we
That's
talking about?
Carrera. What he went up. That's why.
Picked up, so they had, what did they have, 9 to go?
No, they had about 12.
12, that's right, plus 5, 6 yards. So he picked up 18 yards on that pass, and that was Carrera across the middle.
Okay, went up and got that rebound, didn't he?
Yes, sir. He went up above everybody else at 6'3". He's hard to hold down.
That was
And-
a great pass, too.
And I know-
I'm hearing the coaches over in the others down behind. I said, he's open, he's open.
Yeah.
Of course,
You get to listen to us, which I hope is not bad for you, but we get to listen to the coaches up here. That's number 5, Fugate. He just took it in for
Took
a
it in.
touchdown from 9 yards out.
well, this is what Coach Coley wanted to do. Why punt the ball? We got a chance to set the tone tonight. They did it against Hampton. They took the ball down against Hampton and scored on the first series that they had. Did it again
I'm
tonight.
just curious how many passes. I think he completed 5 or 6 passes on that series and never. And I think it started on the 20. That was an 80-yard drive.
Yes, it was. 80 yards and how many?
Don't ask me. It's about
But,
7
just
minutes and 50 seconds. He took up some time.
Warriors out to a 7-point lead.
that touchdown was a 10-yard run by.
Watch-
Here we go. Look at this again.
It goes off to the left side and is not going to let anybody get him. Right there, breaks the tackle there.
Bounced it out.
And right there, 2 more, and then went right over the top of him to get into the end zone.
That was-
Great camera work.
That was
My
a
golly.
10-yard run by Fugate. That play took that series took 15 plays from 28 up 80 yards and 7 minutes and 50 seconds.
You can't
And,
ask her.
and if a coach wants to eat the clock
And score.
you can't beat what just happened on that field for Kecoughtan.
What
Now,
I like about it is he mixed the run and the pass up well enough. Bethel did not know what to do.
and while we got a chance and they're getting ready for this kickoff, let's send it down to Paul. Paul, you got something for us down there, buddy?
Yeah, I do, guys. Hey, it's a real joy being down here at a different perspective. But you were talking earlier about number 59, Ricks. I'll tell you what, down here on the field, that young man is doing a great job. He's making it tough on the Kecoughtan Warrior line, and he is clogging everything up. And then another comment, Nick Carrera, the hands on that young man, just a simple slant pattern, but if it were not for the hands on that young man, they wouldn't have made that completion. Great job on Bethel's defense, but good job on Kecoughtan's offense on the pass.
Well,
It was just 2 teams meeting, doing what they're supposed to do. They made the best defense they could play.
appreciate that, Paul. That was great. Did you see that kickoff? The Bethel guy dropped the ball. The guy behind him got it. Watch the replay on this thing. We were
I was busy
looking at
talking.
Paul. Watch this. Loses the ball right here, and Kecoughtan had a chance
Wow.
to get that. If it wasn't for
Oh,
that young man.
The other guy had
Woo.
no idea where it was, the original receiver. Yeah, that was quite a break for Bethel. And Kecoughtan, of course, you had to see some eyes pop wide open
Yeah.
just for that second. Well, here we are. We got 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Kecoughtan's had 1 possession and put 7 points on the board. And we got a little handoff
Is
here.
that right to look like it was Quentin Lee got the ball off the right side. Bo Morgan, the quarterback.
Looked like they picked up about 3 yards, going to make it second and
he
7.
he's a guy you were talking
Second and
about.
8.
How big he is, 5'10", but he is strong.
Well, that's what the coaches say. He hasn't been a football player he don't want to run over.
We get a chance, we'll get the Bethel Bruin offense for you.
Let you know what we're dealing with. Of course, we've already talked about some of them, but when it comes up. Here we go, second down and about 8. And let's see if Bethel can answer here.
Well, they got spread out. They got 4 wideouts.
Same little bubble screen, the number 10 gentleman I was talking about. And all he needs is a seam.
Okay, but what they did there, Kecoughtan didn't have two guys over there. They had them back, which will really make that level screen work a little bit
You're going to
better.
pick up some yards.
Yes,
You'll pick
sir.
up about 5 on that. That was Durrell Brown, the young gentleman we were talking about earlier. If you see him pop a seam tonight, he will be go. Here we go with the Bethel offense, I believe.
No, we're watching the replay.
No, we saw in a replay. Quick little release there, too. And you know,
you gotta like the gang tackling.
well, I like the gang tackle, but I like the fact that he moved the gang back. He went into them.
He knew he was going to get hit.
3rd and 2. Oh, threw it wide. That's going to bring up 4th down and 2 and 3.
I'm very surprised at that call.
I am too.
You want to get that. You want to get that initial first down.
Of course,
And they did not get it. And this is what Kecoughtan did against Hampton. They made Hampton punt, and they never had the punt.
well, let's see how this shakes out.
Well, and I was talking to the coaches about Kecoughtan. He said, we made some changes on defense. We're not going to be giving that many points up like they did against Hampton.
Well, I think Hampton's offense might have had a little bit to do
Oh,
with it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Talk about another
Oh,
Bubba.
he kicked a high one up there. It's out of bounds.
Oh, man, way out of bounds.
Took out 2 cheerleaders and a supporter down there.
Midfield, man, that was just went off
That-
the side of his foot.
I'll tell you what, all of a sudden everybody on the sideline on the track's paying attention. that ball
Ball
went out
coming
of
over
bounds
this
at about
way.
the 40 and hit dead the center of the track.
Kecoughtan coming back up on offense.
So they're going to take the ball over on the 50-yard line. So that's 30 yards less than they had to march last time. Let's see how proficient they stay. Bethel can make some changes and put a stop in this.
Yeah,
they definitely need to do it here.
something, absolutely. But I like the way Kecoughtan is mixing up their plays. We got 2 men moving at the same time in the backfield.
Going to be a penalty.
Final snap, false start, offense. 5 yards, replay the down.
In that Kecoughtan possession,
Too soon.
Fugate had 3 runs for 16 yards, and Mitchell had 4 runs for 15 yards of the 80 yards that were covered. So they took 7 of the 15 plays. The other plays were passes. And Savage was 5 for 5 for the other 43 yards. What does that tell you?
It tells you that's very balanced.
Our statistician, Frank Egger over here, I'll tell you what, he's on top of it. Of course, he gives
Can we call him Feats Jr.?
he gives predictions. Nice little touch, and he just dropped it. Oh my! That
Well,
was-
he was getting pressure and was backing up and threw that off his back foot.
But I'm telling you
and
what.
all the way over to the other sideline. Brent, that is just an awesome throw.
Well, if you can see that again, he laid that right over his shoulder. I mean, you can't throw it any better. Watch this if we get a chance to see this, where this ball comes down.
He's right at the other.
Watch this.
Wow. You can't do any better
You
than that.
can't hand it to him any better. So it's 2nd down and 15 because of the penalty. Quick release up the middle. That's Carrera. He's got the 1st down. I saw a flag, I think, fly in. I'm not sure.
Savage's pass is caught by Nicholas Carrera.
Did I see a flag, Bob?
No.
Okay, just me. Well, that was about a 16, 17-yard pickup.
Well, and see, if you remember in the Hampton game, Carrera caught 1 ball. He only threw 1 to him. He's
Has
already
to.
thrown twice to him tonight.
Both across the middle, not afraid to take it. And he's leading him perfect, and he's throwing into the defense. The receiver is between 2 defenders, and the ball is right there in his hands. I know we keep heaping praise right here, but right now this young man, Desmond Savage, is looking very good. And the only incompletion he's had has been in somebody's hands. Oh,
He waited just too long.
Didn't hear him coming quite quick enough, and that's going to be a big loss.
Josh Williams.
That's going to be about
6 foot 180 defensive lineman.
That's a 17-yard loss right
Whoa.
there. That's going to make it.
Make it interesting.
Yeah.
You may end up with the first punt tonight. But these guys, watch the replay. He just, when he hurt him right here, he hurt him, but it's too late.
Too late. He tried to curl out of it, and that's number 11. That's
Yeah, I would call it. That was
that's Josh Williams that made that tackle for Bethel.
Hey, remember when they used to have tearaway jerseys? Boy, he'd have loved to have one that time.
Sure would. Second down and 27, I think it is. But he's been very successful. That's Mitchell. They had a shot at him so far. This young man is just, he's beating the corner. They're there on the corner, and he's beating it.
Well, he did that against Hampton. What?
He picked 5,
He kind
10,
of has an extra
15.
gear.
He picked up 22 yards of that 27 yards. And here's a replay. And you think you got him. And he, like you say, Bobby, just seems to have that extra gear. Whoop,
Right
there
there.
you go. Where'd he go? Whoop, there it is.
Sideline warning. Bethel.
And he started stumbling on his own. I mean, the turn got him.
But that little juke inside freezes that tackler just enough for him to accelerate again and
But you
shift
still got to
gears.
be quick enough, which he is, to get around him.
He shifts gears and away he goes. Now we got a 3rd and 9, which is much better for him.
But there he goes again, breaking it loose. I think that's Fugate, isn't it? Number 5?
No,
No,
it's
that's
number
20. That's Mitchell again. That's the same young man that ate Hampton's lunch.
Victor Mitchell.
Just to
He's
give you-
5'6", 170. And the coach says he gets hid behind the line, but the big lineman, you can't find him.
Just give you a little sideline. Bethel has had 2 sacks already tonight for 23 yards. But every time, Kecoughtan has been able to respond and get a
And pick
first
up
down.
that yardage, even though they've got
They had
negative
27 yards to pick up, and they picked it up. They had, and 1 for 15, I think. So here we go. Oh, just overthrew him.
Oh, yeah,
Intercepted.
nice read. Interception. One of the very few he's had.
That's his first or second. I'm not sure.
Second, he had one last week. Wow.
Nice return. That was number 33, I think it was. 83.
83.
Jeremy Owuzu. He's returned it about 50 yards.
Just
35 yards return, is that right?
He's just a sophomore,
Yep. Look at that spin out.
but does a great job of using
His
his
blockers,
blockers
yep.
right here.
Come right back across. Well, come back across the field. Now let's just tell you, that young man is Jeremiah Owuzu. He's a sophomore, 6'2", 175. That's a sophomore. That's somebody else they get to hold on to for a while. That was a big play for Bethel,
It
Bob.
was an excellent play because he was open. He just overthrew him a little bit.
Here we go. Let's get the Bethel offense up here while we got a chance. On offense, we got Ian Bell at wide receiver, Darrell Brown at wide receiver. At center, we got Drew Barker, Phillip Howard at tackle, Travis Maxwell at guard, Quentin Lee at running back, T.C. Chisley at wide receiver, Rodney Addison at guard, Corey Ricks at tackle, and flanker is Josh Owuzu. And your quarterback is Bo Morgan, who you've already heard a lot about tonight already.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter. They're switching sides. If we get a chance, we'll give you the Kecoughtan defense.
Don't forget to buy your 50-50 raffle tickets tonight. Carnival
We'll
Cruise
catch 'em
Line
after this
supporting
play.
Bruins tonight. Buy a ticket to win a fun chip basket filled with great cruise gear.
Quentin,
Tickets are just $1.
Nice job that time. Quentin Lee just off the left-hand side, right off the tackle. Picks up a nice yardage, about 5 yards. And he's a tough runner.
This is a good starting position for Bethel. They needed that. Here we go with Kecoughtan's defense.
Defensive tackles are Olivas and Godwin, and Enzo Hollis and Chris. Linebackers, Taylor and Bennett. Corners, Tucker and Rosado. The strong safety is Edwards, and the weak safety is White. And White will sometimes come up and play a linebacker.
Well, they ran into the line, but I have to say that whole Bethel line moved everybody back about 2 yards. But the runner only picked up about
A half a
1,
yard.
if that.
Well, talk a little bit about our catering sponsor, the Grey Goose. They have a Southern Harmony Spectacular 3-course dinner and show for $35. This is in December. Brent, you and I went to it last year. Awesome. We're going again this year. It's starts Friday the 5th and 6th on Saturday, and it goes 3 weeks in a row.
Well, my wife loves going to it, and she's known Dana for a long time, and she used to sing. My wife used to sing some with them, and so, right in his hands and his drop. Good pass.
Well, Phil and Dana Epstein are the owners, and they've just done a great job. Our catering sponsor, we appreciate the Grey Goose.
I got to tell you my favorite thing. Everybody else has got a favorite thing. Two things. I love I call it their pineapple salad. Here's a replay. You get to see that ball hit him right in the hands, but he throws pretty quick pass. I mean, he's got a little speed on that thing. Boom. Yep, should have been a catch. But we're coming up now with 4th down, and they're going to be punting. I was hoping Bethel would have a chance to respond.
They got the great field position.
Yep.
First great field position they've had all night, and just having trouble getting that initial first down. And that gives you the offense starts getting a little bit of confidence when that happens.
Let's just give you a little bit of information right now with Kecoughtan getting to go on the offense again. Savage is already 6 for 8 passing the ball with 1 interception. I think that's either his first or second interception of the year, and that's going to make him he's thrown 8 passes tonight. That's 119 passes this year with at most 2 interceptions, unheard of.
That's really, and let me tell you, that kick was almost blocked. I don't know if you
close.
were
I
watching
saw that.
how close that came to being blocked.
Yes, sir. If he'd have had his fingernails painted this weekend, he'd have probably had that, that block.
The Warriors have it on the 20-yard line.
Now, Morgan, on the other hand, for Bethel, he's 1 for 3 for 4 yards, but that's not all his fault. He's put the ball where it needed to be. Just happened to have a drop. Just couldn't quite pull it in. But he's got all night. He's going to get him going. Morgan is the 3rd leading passer in the district. So we'll see more from him before it's over.
We got
Right snap, ball start, offense. 5 yards, 3 plays down.
And a lot of people don't understand on a false start, all you have to be, if you're a lineman, if you lift that hand up, that's a false start.
Just to let you know, if you want to read that.
8 plays of Bethel, including
2 punts.
That's all they've had tonight so far.
And Kecoughtan's had 21 offensive plays.
Wow.
So far, and here we are.
Another flag.
14 minutes into the game, and Kecoughtan's already run 21 offensive.
Ball start, offense, 5 yards.
Somebody ought to put a nail in that guy's shoe so he won't take off so early. Must be a play to him because he's ready to go.
Well, they don't identify the one.
No. I'm not looking to do that. I'm just saying, here we go. Kecoughtan's put themselves in the hole again. It's 1st and 20, but twice before they've overcome these situations.
Well,
but now
you got to be careful. You're at your own 10-yard
that's right.
line.
Bethel's got them pinned back just a little bit. Nice delivery. Nice delivery.
Well, I tell you, they've got a lot of confidence in Savage to pass at his own 10-yard line. 3 penalties against the Bruins already for 15 yards.
That was a nice completion right there. Did you see the quick release that we've talked about before on that pass? And, I mean, he hits the man right between the numbers.
Well, that was about a 12-yard pickup. Now it's, about an
8-yard pickup. It's going to make it 2nd down and about 12.
There goes Mitchell again.
And he's still going.
Boy, is he elusive.
He's 12.
Wow. That is awesome.
17.
We just love Mitchell. We rave about him in that Hampton
He's had
game.
3 runs tonight, I think, close between 12 and 15 yards already.
And already in two plays, Brent, they picked up 20 yards.
Yeah, more than 20. They got their first down back. 1 pass, 1 run. Right now, Mitchell's having his way, and so is Savage for the most part.
Well, they've done some scouting on this Bethel defense. Bethel's got about 8 guys out up on the line of scrimmage. So if you can break it through.
Here goes Mitchell again. He's just finding his way.
And
he's
got
just
to pick up another 10,
another first
10
down.
yards.
Yeah, closer to 12.
Wow. You gotta be impressed.
But if you see a replay on that, watch how he follows his blockers and picks his position, picks his runners. Watch it. This is beautiful. All right, he's got his hand on his back, uses the block, goes. I mean, he's just taking his time to pick where he's going.
Timeout, Bethel.
We talked about Mitchell. We keep talking about Mitchell. You're going to love this. He has had 7 carries for 64 yards. And we're 3 minutes into the second quarter. I don't.
Yeah,
well,
let's
go ahead,
find
Bob.
out what young Mr. Paul Rowe has for us.
Hey, guys, down on that last drive, Mitchell, let me tell you what. This kid, the defense for Bethel is kind of holding the line and staying there to find out what's going on. And this Mitchell kid is just running down the line, picking his holes, moving through a hole, going sideways, turning around, spinning, finding another hole and going through it. He doesn't have to worry about much blocking at all, and Bethel is not sure where he's going, so they're not pressing real hard through there because they don't want to lose him like they're losing him now.
Paul, if you remember when you and Frank did the Hampton game, that young man did 217 yards against Hampton. And he's already got close to 65 yards, 3 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Yeah, he's on his way to a game like this because he knows that defensive line now and he's picking his way through. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Paul. Well, here we go. What a great picture we got down. The camera crew is just doing a great job. And of course, here's Fugate. He's the lead in the district because everybody's looking for him. I don't know.
And he lost a couple
lost
yards.
a couple of yards. But
Just couldn't quite couldn't get his shoulders square to go north-south.
But he was running to the same side that the stack was.
Yeah.
And so that brought more people already out there as it was. So, but this young man's going to get his yards too tonight.
He's just a junior, and he's 5'10", 175. So, you got Fugate, you got
Mitchell,
you got Savage, you got Carrera, you got some big play guys out there.
Right now, they're exerting themselves, or he's throwing. There he is. Oh, man.
Just
a little bit short. He couldn't get back to it. He needed to come back to it.
If you watched the replay, if you saw what was happening.
He got hit.
He was getting hit. There were like 4 Bethel Bruins going to kill him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying.
And he's throwing it as he's going backwards.
Carrera,
can't hardly step into it.
Carrera needed to come back a little bit more. He was just underthrown. The ball was a little wobbly. Like you said, he got hit.
Yeah.
Boy, he got nailed. A lot of poise to stand in that pocket, I'm going to tell you what.
But I'm impressed because you get the ball that far down the field, and you cannot step into the throw.
Pass, yeah.
And you've watched the pros have trouble with that.
There we go, 3rd down and 12. Look at that. That was Carrera again. Picked up the 1st down and a flag. It's going to be helmet to helmet, I believe. I believe that's what it's going to be. Well, that's Savage is now 8 for 11 with whatever yards I had on into that. Frank, you're way ahead of me. That was about 14 yards, so that's going to give him about.
I tell you,
it's going to give him about 80 yards.
Has really been his favorite target tonight.
Personal foul, illegal helmet contact, defense.
You called it.
15 yards, 1st down.
That's one of the things that they wanted to do, and I had George Adamowski in talking about targeting. And if you target is anything that you hit to somebody above the shoulder pads, whether it's arm, elbow, shoulder pads, helmet, it doesn't make any difference. They call that targeting, automatic 15
and
yards.
it's all to protect the high school, the young ball players. It's all to protect them. And you got to know now. I mean, they've been drumming it in since last year. You can't do that.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of discussion's been had about it. But right now, Savage is 8 for 11 with 80 yards, or maybe a little more. Nice run here. He's still running.
He just does not want
that
to
was
come
Fugate
down.
did not want to come
no,
down.
that was number 5 that time.
It was Fugate, yeah.
Fugate, yeah.
He picked up about 3 yards on that, but he's getting tough yards on that play. Here it is again, coming right at you. Look at that camera work, Bob. Ground level, coming right at you.
And he doesn't stop. After he's hit, he picked up 2 more yards.
You don't think them boys ain't hitting that there? Well, I tell you, that's giving me bruises. I'm going to start bringing Band-Aids to this close-up work. Good job with the camera crew, Bob. Look at that. Well, you get great job.
And I'm telling you, the automation, everything we've got going, Andy Foley's group is just unbelievable.
No, just a little bit wide. A little bit wide on that. It was 2nd and about 6. Now it's going to make it 3rd and 6. But again, if you look at that pass, Savage did the smart thing. He didn't try to put it in there where anybody else had a shot at it.
He put it only where his guy could
That's right.
Absolutely.
And that's how you avoid interceptions. You lead away from the defender. The man can catch it over his back shoulder. Great catch. But you don't give the other team a chance to catch it. The interception that Bethel got was off the tip ball.
Well, glad to have Krista Campbell back. She's been gone, doing her instant replay. What a great job, Krista.
Look at that picture on the side. I mean, it's just a good picture. That's all it is. Here we go, back on the field. I hear a whistle. Timeout.
Kecoughtan.
Yes, Kecoughtan, second
I
timeout.
believe that's
That's
their
your
second.
second timeout.
Okay.
I'm not saying a word. Are you?
I'm just trying to do my job.
I look at these two coaches, and you got Bubba Hooker, who is almost 45 years. She was talking about him. Coley, this is his 4th year over there. Carrera has been a starter for 4 years.
At
He's
Kecoughtan.
been there with him from the beginning. And it just makes you feel good to see that these young men develop and how good and better they've got each year. These coaches, what they do with these young men, not only teaching them how to be good athletes, good students, good people in the community.
Well, Kecoughtan coaches really built this program. It was his 3rd or 4th year.
4th year.
4th year, and look where they are now. Here we're getting ready to go. It's 3rd down and about 6. Oh, overthrew him. Oh, that was the first high pass I've seen.
And we got a flag.
I don't know. They were both going for that ball. I've got to figure this out.
But I'd have to see it. But if he hit him before the ball
Got there. I agree. But I thought everybody had the same shot at it.
They do, but you can't get an advantage by making contact.
Let's just see. I don't see that. I don't know what he's calling. Unless he's calling him being undercut or something.
But it's against the Bruins. And that would be half the distance. It'll be half the distance, right? Because it's about
It's at the 15.
21.
Hey. Defensive pass interference, half the distance to the goal, first down.
You can show that all night long, folks.
Well, the only thing that I can see on that replay was the third or second defensive.
But look at it again.
guy.
The ball hit the Bethel defender's hands first.
Well, watch the guy behind
Underneath,
him.
I understand. But
And that's the only thing I could see.
watch whose hand it hits first. Boom. They're there at the same time.
Well, see, I don't know who they call it. He does. I don't see the penalty.
I mean, the official, I think, had a bad angle on it because that ball was up for grabs. The Bethel player had just as much right to it as the Kecoughtan player. And so hand off to Fugate, and he gets a touchdown. That's his 11th touchdown of the season. He still leads the district in touchdowns.
And we got one of the Chase boys coming in, right?
Yeah, guarantee you, kicker will be named Chase.
And his last name was Thomas.
For Kecoughtan.
And let me tell you about this Chase Thomas. Not only a great athlete, plays on the golf team, was like number 2 in the district this year on the golf team. He plays soccer and kicks. If he finds time to do anything else, he probably fills up the water.
I don't know where he
jugs
gets the rest of the talent from, but I know where he gets the golf talent from. His dad, Kippy.
Yeah.
He's
his dad
quite a
can
good
play
golfer
some golf.
himself, yes. Of course, I haven't had a chance to play with Kippy in a long time. He went to work, and I haven't seen him since. It's been about 5 years. I don't know. I see him every now and then.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense.
That's the 3rd or 4th false start for the
Warriors.
Warriors tonight.
Just to let you know, that was a 9-yard run by Fugate for the touchdown. That play covered 78 yards in 9 plays, 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Right now, this is not foreboding well for Bethel. They're going to have to tighten something up. Kecoughtan's able to pretty much move at will right now. And I think it's long enough.
Looks good.
Okay. Well, I thought maybe we were going to have a Rocket routine right there by the 2 officials, the way they had that worked out. Here's a replay right here, folks. Didn't it look good, though? I was just waiting for the music.
Well, yeah, they look at each other and say, "Are you ready?"
We saw that replay right there, but I'm going to tell you, I saw several Bethel players. They didn't wrap.
Yeah, you
They're
got to
trying to shoulder tackle, try to knock the guy down. You got to get back to wrapping these tackles. If you don't want these guys, Mitchell and Fugate, bouncing through you, somebody's going to have to start putting some wraps on those legs and shoulders and taking them down.
I can remember when I played football, we were taught to tackle the legs. You were never told to hit around the shoulder pads or anything. I tell you what, you get some information from Frank. Hey, Paul, you have something down there? Come on back, buddy.
Yeah, guys, I just wanted to make a comment on that series. Savage is beginning to get, or seem to be, very, very comfortable in the backfield now. It appears like he has a step or two on the defense coming in, and he knows that. And he's taking his time and finding his receivers who are running good routes. He did a great job on that series, and I wish I could help you all on that penalty, but from here it looked like it could have been pass interference, but I don't have a good view from here.
On the replay, Paul, you could not tell. It looked like the official did not have a good angle at it.
Paul, thank you for that information.
Thank you, guys.
While we got a chance here, Kecoughtan right now, Furyk has 7 carries for 43 yards, 2 TDs. Mitchell has 7 carries for 64 yards, and Savage is 8 of 12 for 81 yards. Right now, Kecoughtan's offense is clicking.
Yeah. And the defense not doing bad
no,
either.
They're not doing bad
Bethel
either.
has yet to have a
first down.
They've had 8 offensive plays.
2 possessions.
2 possessions and 2 punts. We have a little...
Now, we're talking about Bethel's offense. They've had 3 carries for 8 yards.
You know what's happening here? It's a delay of game. I think the kid called for a fair catch and then
Personal
took
foul
off.
against the offense. First down.
Personal foul.
Wow, I didn't get that. I thought the kid took off running. Well, Bethel has sure been flagged with some big ones tonight.
Well, this will give you Bethel's offense. They've had 3 carries for 8 yards. Morgan is 1 for 3 for 4 yards. They have a total of 12 yards on offense for the evening, and we're 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Quarter and a half.
So Bethel needs to get on track, and I've seen them do it before. They've got the offense. They just need to get it on track. Right now, they seem to be playing a little bit tentative, Bob.
They are that.
The official just going over to say hello, or we're watching the turtle race? What we're doing here?
They want to make sure everybody understands on the same page. You're not going to snap that ball until we're ready.
There you go.
Direct snap back to Bo. Oh, nice move. Nice move.
Yes. That's what they needed. That's what Bethel needed, a spark. That was Bo Morgan. He's done picked up about 25 yards on that carry.
Well, I tell you, he ran a little farther than that because he started over.
Yeah, he was further back than that. That's why I'm saying. Here, watch this. I mean, he doesn't appear to show blind and speed, but he shows intelligence in where he's running. And you see what I'm talking about? And it's not just.
He did finally put that ball away.
That's Bethel's first down of the evening with 7 minutes and 1 second to go in the second quarter.
And there goes another one.
Oh, he got hit. That was number 5 again for Bethel. That was
number 10,
Bo Morgan.
Elijah White, senior, cornerback, 5'9", 180. Put a lick on him.
Yes, he did. But I have to say, right now, Bo's reminding me a little bit of Hampton quarterback. He decided to take it on himself. He's picked up 2 first downs and 2 runs.
Well, he hasn't been a threat to run earlier. And now all of a sudden, Kecoughtan's going to have to be aware of his speed.
Let's see, who's that? He's still trying at that. That was number 9. That was Quentin Lee. I mean, he's going to earn every yard.
He was hit at the line of scrimmage
and still picked
up 7 yards, Grant.
Yep. When he goes in there, he said, come on, ride along with me. He just keeps dragging people with him.
He was dragging the defense with him. And he's a young man that you would talk about how big he is.
For 5'10", 210, he's got some build on him.
Well, he's been in the weight room a little bit. His daddy's no slouch. I don't think his dad'd take him now. But
well, let's hope Bethel can do something with this. Let's make this a game. They've got a little spark going here now. All right. Slow developing play.
Yeah, just. And we got a penalty. Maybe there's going to be a face mask.
Not going anywhere except behind the 50-yard line, but
So it's about a loss of about 4, I believe, right now. It's against Kecoughtan, according to the Bethel players.
Face mask.
Face mask against the defense, 5 yards.
Must be incidental.
Incidental. Well, Puts him right back to where he started.
Picked up a yard. Well, no, you're right. Same place. Lost a 5, pick up a 5. Don't write that down. All right, here we are. Bethel is back at a 2nd and 3. And they need some straight-ahead plays. That's where they're going to pick up the yardage. Here he comes again. Nice block. He goes down, but he got his first down.
Yeah, he did. I'm impressed with Bo
Well,
Morgan.
it appears, and I'm not trying to assume anything, that in Kecoughtan's defensive schemes, they didn't really figure Bo in as a real threat to run. Because
Bo is 6'4".
Oh, yeah. It's a tall
190.
drink of water right there, buddy. But what I'm saying is, evidently he wasn't pictured to be too much of a threat to run because he's run, I think, 4 times or 3 times, and he's picked up about 40 yards.
Well, 3 of the times he's carried the ball, he's picked up a first down.
Yeah.
This is the first sustained drive that the Bruins have had, and they're looking good. And they got Kecoughtan's defense back on their heels right now.
Well, let's just see if Bethel can make it work. He's going deep. He's got him ran down there, and it's a touchdown, number 15. Yes, sir. That is T.C. Chisley.
He's just an 11th grader, 5'10", 165, but he got behind the defense. Bo laid the ball right out there nice.
That was a pretty pass by Bo Morgan, folks. That was nicely done. Now, that just reminded me of something. Where Kecoughtan had their problem against Hampton was the long ball. Was the long ball.
Well, and the 2 things you got to do, you got to have a good defensive player on him, but you also have to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And I watched the tackle on the left side. He did a great job of keeping the
giving him time.
Defensive end from crashing in.
He gave Bo a chance to get the ball off, and I got to tell you, he put it right on the money.
We got another guy by the name of Chase kicking this time, right?
Yep, it's close.
So Chase,
but it's no good. He wide left on that.
Wow,
Let me
that
just
could
say,
be big.
Now this is much more important than it sounded than just 6 points, because Bethel took that ball and won 88 yards. Go ahead, Paul. Well, before I get through this, what do we got down there, buddy?
All right, guys, you hit that one on the nail. Bo Morgan set up that last touchdown. I can tell you that with surety. They were overplaying him. Every time he got the ball, they thought he was going to pass. They would rush at him. He picked them apart by giving them a step on him, and then he would shoot the gap. And then the Kecoughtan defense was setting up to stop, was number 9, Quinn, and they were hitting him time after time after time. And when Morgan got them more worried about him with his run, it opened up the pass, and you could see it. Kecoughtan blew the coverage on that. Morgan just lofted the ball, a beautiful pass and reception for the touchdown. Set up by Morgan.
Good call. It was a whole series of things that made that possible. Good call, Paul. While we get the chance, that series was 6 plays, Bob, 88 yards, and 1 minute and 54 seconds.
Wow.
So not only did Bethel need to come back, they came back quick. And on that series, Lee had 4 carries for 15, or he now has 4 carries for 15 yards. Morgan has 3 runs for 42 yards on that play.
and I told you, those 3 of them.
And he now is 3 for 5 with 39 yards and 1 TD. Game's balancing out. I got to give my statistician over here some kudos over here, buddy. He's throwing his paperwork over here faster. We're going to have this all done in yellow.
You know how you handle paperwork if you're a lawyer? He just flips that stuff around like nothing to it.
What keeps bothering me is he's charging me about an hour. I keep seeing this little note at the bottom. All right, kick it off. Taking it to 10, Bob. Whoops. Uh-oh. One blocker. He is gone.
No flags.
No flags anywhere. 90-yard TD by number 20, Mitchell.
Victor Mitchell.
91-yard TD.
He got some great blocks on that. Great blocks.
Well, once he broke through that first wall and started down the right sideline, Bob.
Yep.
I mean, if we get to see this again, it was just like, I'll just take my time. You guys keep knocking them off. Watch this. Took it right at the sideline. See, patience. And he got through that first wall, and now.
But he got some great blocks.
Yes,
There's
he
another one. Great blocks. I'm impressed with the special team on that that run back.
Well, I tell you what, Bethel did not need that to finally get back and to make it a game and turn around and give up a 91-yard kickoff return. And this is Chase Thomas for the extra point. I don't know. It's
Got it.
good. That was a little lower line drive than we usually see him kick.
Well, you know, sometimes you hit a nice lob wedge. Sometimes you a low 5-iron.
I know that what we just saw has to make Coach Hooker just cringe. I mean, you finally get your offense clicking a little bit.
Get a little step, spring in your step.
Feel good about thinking about going into the half. And then bang. Mitchell, who we've talked about already all night, pops. He's probably got, 140, 50 yards in all-purpose yards already. I've had a feeling my statistician probably already has that written down and has moved ahead of me.
A good shot of Ralph Saunders. Of course, to me, his name's Jerry, but he goes by Ralph. And he said,
that's no interview Saunders, isn't it?
Yeah, he won't go come in the interview. He's a principal over at Bethel High School. But I said, well, why did they call you Ralph? And he says, when I got my first paycheck, it had Ralph on it, so that's what I went by. But he played basketball over at Phoebus with Boo Williams. And he said, no. Boo played with me. I said, okay.
Love the stories. My gosh, you've been doing this since 1980, and you were coaching it before then. That's just great information that you're giving these people out here who think back about all the old players and all the old times. A little pooch kick.
Yeah, that's what he's been doing.
And it went out of bounds and bring it out to the 35.
But that's not a bad. You're not going to run a punt back on me or a kickoff back on me.
That takes the starts right out of bringing that back.
You got that baby right.
Now, let's see. Bethel. I know we just said it 3 minutes ago, but can Bethel come back in? Does that put a nail in this thing?
Well, you got to come back.
Bethel's got to come back and respond right now. They got 5 minutes and 5 seconds or something like that to make this happen. They really need to have a nice sustained drive and put 7 more points up on the board. Well, we can continue to talk about this. Both of these teams are in the same division, Bob. Well, here we go. A little sweep to the right. Let's see what can happen. Well, got a little seam.
Yep.
Picked up something. That's the young man. Of course, I brought it up before. That's
that was number 10.
Yeah, that was Darryl Brown. That's the young man that's got a whole lot of quickness. He ain't big as a minute,
but he's only 155 pounds. Hey, he'd get lost behind some of those linemen too.
But they say he is really quick. He just needs that little gap, and he's gone. Bethel, we were talking about this. Both of these teams are in the same division. Right now, Phoebus is coming in at 6th position, and Bethel's coming in at 7th position, also 3-2 and 3-1.
But
so this is a game. It means
a
more.
lot because they're both Division 6. You're absolutely right.
That's what I was trying to talk to Coach Hooker about earlier tonight. Was this game has more meaning than just a win over Kecoughtan or whatever, because it plays big in the seedings. The top 8 people go at the end of the season. This doesn't tell it all because Kecoughtan is picking up the tough part of their schedule now. They leave here and they play Woodside, and then I think it's Phoebus or something down the line.
Yeah.
But they've got that's who they play.
They got to play Phoebus, but I think that's the last game.
That's the last game.
Last game of the season. I think that's on Halloween night.
Is that right?
Halloween. You should wear your
Halloween garb.
Your garb.
My garb. My grandchildren love it. Well, here we go. Bo's back to Pats. Taking a little step inside. Nice little drop
move.
Off. That's a friend Brown right there, Darryl Brown. This is big. I think he picked up the first down and some.
Well, that was number 18, Chris Loudon for the Bruins.
I thought that was Brown, number 10.
No.
You may be right. Let's see. Yep, you're right, number 18.
Well, you got to look at the Kecoughtan Warriors. They gang tackle.
I'll tell you what.
We've got just over
Big
3
play.
minutes to go in the first half.
Well, they moved the ball into Kecoughtan territory from their own 35, so let's just see if they can keep it going. Oh, my, picked it right off. Let's see what happens. Oh,
Now,
my.
if he would have cut back, he had a blocker out there. And I'm talking about the young man that intercepted that ball.
But I want you to go ahead.
He, number 2 for the Warriors, and that's Kevin Davis. And Kevin had a open line, and the defensive man was there. All he had to do was make a move, and he could have gone for a touchdown. I don't know if he just didn't see. What a nice step in right there. Right here, number 3 can help him, but he waited too long to make the move. But what a great job.
Yeah, he was just running with the play instead of trying to make a block on Bo Morgan, who made the stop. But what we didn't get to talk about was on that interception, the receiver went behind the defender instead of in front of him.
Yeah.
Timeout.
It was a great lead by the quarterback for the receiver, but he went behind the defender, or the defender stepped up. I'd like to see it again.
And what happens on that is you've got to protect. You got to be sometimes. If you're offense, you got to become a defensive back.
Right. You got to know where that defender
Right.
is.
You cannot let somebody else get the interception. You got to knock that ball down. Make sure if I can't catch it, you can't.
If we could see that a little wider, you'll see what I'm talking about. The receiver just seemed to, the defender stepped up, and the receiver, here it comes right here. Looks like it's coming right to him, and the receiver.
Well, he never saw the defensive man.
Never played him. He was waiting for the ball, and the defender, what a great play, just stepped right in front of him and took the play. And Morgan is now 4 of 7 for 57 yards with 1 TD and 1 interception. Let's see what Kecoughtan can do. They've got less than 3 minutes to go in the half. Let's see if they can put another one on the board. I know they'd like to do it. Another handoff. I think that's to Fugate, but I can't see the number. No, it's Mitchell, I think. That was Mitchell. He picked up a couple. That makes it 2nd down and 8, Bob. And they're on the what? They're on the 25. Plenty of time for Kecoughtan in the way they play. Whoops, that just took care of some of that. Yep, stopped the play right at the loss of about 10 yards.
Wow.
Because they were at the 15, they're going to be back at the 20. No, they're bringing it up there. Wow.
Well, they're going to move it where he first got hit and was running, and they're pushing him backwards where his forward progress was.
That's going to make it 3rd down and about 15.
And if nothing else, you want to get at least close enough to try a field goal.
Yep. Well, I think they might try it from here anyway. We saw him attempting them from 40 and 45 before. Chase.
Make some noise. Show your support of that team on the field.
Oh, nice screen pass.
You'll get an interception.
They didn't blow the whistle. They didn't. Everybody stopped like it was a whistle.
Got to see this again. I thought I heard a whistle.
So the Warriors are putting points back on the board again.
And this is number 5 that gets the screen
Fugate.
right here. Fugate.
Catches it at the 35. Now they got him right there.
Okay,
he's down.
Down. His knee was down.
His knee was down.
Yeah, they don't have the replay.
Oh, that somebody wasn't paying attention. He was definitely down on that play.
Brown back on to try for the point after.
So that was no good.
This time it's no go.
Well, I have to say, and I'm not picking on anybody, but there's a lot of people out there wearing striped jerseys to have missed that.
Yeah. You got to see that knee. He's
show
not
it again.
down if he's laying on top of the defensive, but when he turned over and his knee touched the ground, he's down.
Yep, I don't know
but
if
no whistle. Everybody else thought he was down, but you tell your kids, you play until you hear the whistle.
That's right.
If you don't have a whistle, you keep playing.
But I'd like to see the position of the officials on that. Somebody.
Well, McCullough will review this film. somebody was
like
out of position.
It wasn't like it was in a pile, and it was very obvious from the sideline as to where his knee went down. There we go. Let's see it one more time. Get this wide angle. These camera people do a great job. Look at this.
It was a great call.
Yeah. He's going to have the first down. Now watch this. 1, 2.
Right there. Knee is down.
And this guy's there. The official is right there. Fugate now.
He was not looking at it.
Yeah, he was right there. He wasn't looking. I don't know what he was looking at. Fugate has 8 carries for 75 yards and 3 TDs.
Well, he's the TD leader, right?
Yeah, he's now got 13. That's a 32-yard TD, 27 in 1 minute and 22 seconds, 3 plays. Wow. Kecoughtan is putting some impressive numbers on this board. But like you say, players told to play through till he hears the whistle.
Play till you hear the whistle. He never heard a whistle, so he kept going, but everybody else just kind of stopped.
That's number 2.
That's Ian Bell.
Well, it was 1 minute and 17 seconds left, and
We got a flag on the play.
I can't.
I don't see a flag.
It's going to be at the 46-yard line, Bob, and it's going to be 1st and 10 with 1:17 to go.
Hey,
Let's see whether Bubba just tries to take it into the locker room and get these guys back together, or if he tries to put something on the board. Right now, I'm
well,
feeling.
they were going to get the ball to start second half.
Yeah.
The Bruins are.
Good move. Take it out of bounds. Smart play. Stop the clock.
And pick up the first down.
It's right close, but I think you're right. They may measure this one.
They're not going to measure. They're giving it to him. He got
All right.
it. He got it.
10-yard gain for the Bruins. Ball
All right, let's take a look at this again. Again, this is Bo Morgan, who's having to make things happen himself.
from the 44.
Well, it was a nice try that time, but
Don't forget live raffles tonight.
it looked like Kevin Davis, number 2.
All right. 108. That play didn't take long, did it? I think. Yep. Trouble.
Wow,
Number
he just
10.
flipped that ball
To
out.
number 10, yeah.
Number 10, Darryl Brown making that reception.
And Bethel has one timeout left.
Let's see, well, they're getting down. They're 47 seconds.
37-yard
I don't know why he waited that 10, 12 seconds. Anyway,
Timeout, Bethel. That's their last timeout.
all right, well, let's see what they've got to do here, Bob. They've got to go from the 37 yards to score, and they've got 46 seconds to do it.
Plenty of time. Every time you get a first down, the clock stops in high school.
Yeah. Try to do it like the pros. Use the sidelines and
Right,
get
but
first down.
I'm impressed with Bo.
Oh, me too.
Not only is he running the ball, he made a nice little shuffle pass that last time to pick up some positive yards because he was going to be
Sack.
tackled.
Yeah, good thinking on both parts. Brown, number 10, he was alert enough to see it coming.
And it looked like he almost could have had his knee down when he got the ball. But it looked like his knee was down and his ball coming, he stood up.
Okay. Well, without the ball, I guess he's okay. Well, let's just see what they can do. Let's see if they can do something, get some
They're
score.
not going to sit on it.
And that's going to hurt them right there.
Well, they got the first down. It's going to stop the clock. They get up there real quick, 37 seconds. You ready to go? You ready to fire? The coach should have given them a couple plays and what you need
This
to be
is going
doing.
to hurt now. 4 is going across the field. Let's go with it. Clock's ticking. Oh, they're coming now. They hit him. He got a lot of pressure that time.
I tell you what, if you watch Nick Carrera from his defensive end on the right-hand side of that Kecoughtan defense, He is putting pressure on that young man blocking him, and he may have had a little bit of a hole that time. Watch
Well,
this.
he just,
You see right
he just
there.
beats his man. That's all there was to it.
He's showing a lot of speed that time.
Like going for a rebound or going to dunk the ball down court. I mean, he's just quick.
Uh-oh, they got 3 wideouts at the top.
Well, he got it off. There's a man in the end zone. Too far anyway.
He caught it, but he's out of the end zone.
Threw it just a tad bit too far. A little bit late getting there because the defender was able to catch up. He
Yeah.
had his man beat.
And if you look at Bo Morgan, he was under a lot of
Yeah.
pressure when he threw that ball.
He had to find a spot to throw it from.
And
There
he
was
did.
a bunch
He
of
just-
people that didn't like him in the other spot.
They don't like him?
No, they're just being ugly. They're trying to stop him from doing what he wants to do. And so he, like you said, he had to find get away from some defense to get it off.
Let's hear some noise.
Well, send somebody.
Morgan's pass again.
Oh, now
Well,
that's
that
got to
is-
be a flag.
yep.
Yes, sir.
Flag on the play.
Well, it's not an automatic first down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
Not only saying that, but if you see that, the defender was playing the ball and not looking at the receiver
Right.
at all.
And
He just
that
ran-
ball should have been incomplete.
Yeah. But he just ran over the defender before the ball got there. That's all there was to it.
But that was kind of an easy call.
Yeah.
Defensive pass interference, 15 yards, first down.
Here comes the replay. Watch
With
this.
11
seconds
You
left.
still got plenty. You got
Two plays.
at least 2 plays.
Step up. Now here you'll see it. I don't even know if he had a chance to catch it, Bob.
Whoa, they were my sinuses.
Yeah, that should take care of any cough medicine for the weekend right there,
I
buddy.
tell you.
Yes, sir. I'll be blinking at my wife for the next 2 days after that whistle. All right, see if he gets 2 shots. There it is. He took it way wide. Way wide. What? 6
That
seconds
only
left.
took 5.
You see that a little bit wide for the receiver.
We got our buddy Tim Ewing down there on the clock tonight.
Yeah, Tim's been up here longer than the paint. He's here every game, every week. He comes down here sometime in the summertime and just sits here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Frank,
there's
hey,
our
good
buddy
to see
Frank.
you, Frank.
To be here, guys.
You're awful quiet and soft, but I got to say, you are the best dressed stat man we've ever had.
I tried to keep up with you, Brent, with the 3-piece suit last week. I had to go with the blazer today.
Yeah, mine had a little bit more sorrow to it, but let me just say, I look down at you and it reminds me of sitting in the Commonwealth Attorney's office a lot. Some lawyer always asking me questions. So, I appreciate you giving me all this information. It's awesome. Here we go. Could be the last play. That's going to be the last play. That's it. End of the second quarter.
End of the first half of play here at Darling Stadium. So we have a halftime score at the Kecoughtan Warriors
27-6. Halftime. I would never expected that Kecoughtan would be scored that many times against the Bruin defense, because Bruin defense is a good defense. They're big kids on that team.
Well, you got to talk about 2 of the scores. One was an interception and a run back. But still, their offense is clicking. They're moving the ball pretty much at will. I don't know how many stops. I think Kecoughtan may have been stopped twice. I'm not sure. But they sure went down the field the first time, and they were moving it the second time. It wouldn't been for Savage's second interception that he kept driving. Well, guys, while we got a chance, Paul's down on the field talking to the band, I think. I don't know what he's doing. What you got for us, big guy?
I just want to talk about the game itself so far. It's been an interesting game because the young kid, the quarterback for Bethel, Bo, he has really done a great job of taking command of this game in the second half and kind of turned the tide a little bit. Frank, what do you think about that?
Frank?
Well, it's been the Bo Morgan show for Bethel. He's got 50 yards on 6 carries tonight and 64 yards through the air. So Bo Morgan's running the show. But for Bethel, they've divided their carries evenly. Fugit with 8 carries for 75 yards, 3 touchdowns. Mitchell, 8 carries, 66 yards, and, of course, the long kickoff return.
Yeah, I just want to correct you. That's Kecoughtan, not Bethel, but you're right. That was awesome. But when you have your special team score, you intercept the ball, you get points that way, and then that And I go back to that screen pass. It was a great call, but that kid's knee was down. We could see it on the thing. They gave him a touchdown. But you know and I know that you play into the whistle. If the whistle doesn't blow, you keep playing.
Yeah, there's no spot on the stat
two
sheet for a
things
knee
there,
being
Bob.
down.
Down
I didn't
on
know
the
they'd
field
give
with
him
that
one
play
carry or
where
two.
he was down on his knee. We
gave him
couldn't see
one there
whether he
for
was down or
32
not, but I will tell you this. Everybody on the
yards.
field appeared to stop right down, and everybody on the sidelines figured he was down. The second thing I want to say is, on that 91-yard touchdown, I was trying to run down the field to get down in position when all of a sudden one word flashed through my mind. Flash, and that's where it went, right down the field, because it seemed like somebody whose name was Flash was running the ball.
Well, here we are. We're closing out the first half of what we thought was going to be a better game, and I'm thinking it's going to be a better game the second half. Bethel showed some offense.
27-6.
27-6. We'll be right back with everybody in just a minute. Let's take it home. Welcome back to Darling Stadium. It's Friday night again, and we're still here at the Bethel Bruins and Kecoughtan Warriors game. It's halftime, and right now Kecoughtan's leading by 27-6. A little bit of a surprise for us. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit to Frank Egger. He's got some stats for us, just how big the first half was. Go ahead, Frank. Tell us what you got.
Well, the stats reflect really what we saw in the first half. It's not quite as bad as it was early in the second quarter for Bethel. They end up finishing with 12 rushes on 71 yards on the 12 rushes. Most of those belong to the quarterback, Bo Morgan. He had 50 yards rushing. He was 5 for 11 through the air with 64 yards through passing, 1 interception. So Bethel recovered a little bit there in the second quarter.
Right.
For a Kecoughtan, another terrific night for the running back. 75 yards for Fugate and 3 touchdowns. 66 yards for Mitchell and a touchdown on the 91-yard return. Savage 5 for -15. He sacked several times there. And Granny had a carry for 4, 130 yards on the ground for the Warriors. And Savage through the air, 81 yards through the air, 8 for 12 with an interception. So a balanced attack from Kecoughtan and a one-man attack from Bethel tonight.
Good. We're going to see some highlights that we had from the first half, some of the better plays that Krista Campbell put up for us. We want to show those now before we get into it. We got about a minute before the game.
Well, thanks, Frank, for those stats. It's, like you said, it shows completely opposite plays for those two teams so far tonight. One team seems to be clicking pretty good. The other team's just trying. Okay, here we go with those replays. We've got a lot of them here, so let's see if we can just give you an idea what was going on. This is the first play, I think, where Savage picked up a first down on the run. It was one of the first plays of the game. He went down and picked up his first down. This next one is Fugate. You can see he goes in for over 10 yards out for his 11th touchdown of the season. And I think you're going to see Mr. Savage sacked right here. I think he's been sacked 2 or 3 times in the first half.
We love a tearaway jersey.
Yep. And this is an interception by Bethel. And you see quite a nice run here. I thought they had him a couple of times, and he cuts back across the field, and that's number 83.
That's Jeremiah.
Jeremiah Owuzu, or something close anyway. And this, of course, is Mitchell. He's done a whole lot tonight. He's got a whole lot of yards that you heard Frank talk about it. Just one of his plays.
And this is Carrera.
This is Nick Carrera, who we're quite high on.
And there was a helmet-to-helmet there.
Yep, that was a penalty after. This is Fugate again going for his 12th touchdown of the season.
And this is the first first down for the Bruins.
And this is in the, I think it was in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And a quarterback had to run it out to get that.
That was Bo Morgan.
Bo Morgan.
And they was on another one. He picked up another first down.
He picked up 50 yards in the first half.
And this is that pass for the touchdown.
That was a terrific touchdown. And that was to Chisley.
And
he just beat his man, and the pass was laid out there perfect. Now this is
91-yard run by Mr. Mitchell.
Unbelievable. And like you can see, once he got it out in the open, nobody else did the
but
picture.
he got great blocks at the point of contact, and he just followed his blockers. And here's Morgan again.
Nice little dump pass off to number 18. They needed a long first down, and he was able to pick it up with that.
There was Chris Loudon.
Yep. And here's the interception. You can just see where the Kecoughtan number 2 just stepped right in and took the ball. And for one block, he'd still be running. And here's the last play of the night, of course. This is Mr. Savage, a little flip out to Fugate. Little discussion about whether he was down or not. We think he was, but the officials didn't blow the whistle, so that's his 13th touchdown of the season.
That's a long touchdown. That's awesome.
Well, that's pretty much our first half. Good job, Krista, and guys down in the truck. That was a great job.
They do a great job on that. All right, we're just about ready for halftime. We got a minute before they're going to kick off. Kecoughtan will kick off to start the second half. The Bruins are going to receive. Bruins need to get positive yards, go down and score. They've got to score early, I think, to put pressure on the Kecoughtan Warriors. That, you know, both coaches went into halftime, and they made some adjustments. Kecoughtan's adjustments were going to be how we're going to make sure that Bo Morgan doesn't hurt us running. Bethel has to say how we're going to stop Fugate, how we're going to stop Mitchell, and let's put more pressure on Savage so he can't find open Carrera anymore.
Well, Bethel had a lot to talk about. There's a lot of weapons that Kecoughtan seems to have working right now.
Well, I also want to talk about our catering sponsor, the Grey Goose. They're located downtown Hampton, and they just do a great job. And if you're thinking about having a get-together or something, they will cater that thing. Will do a great job. And I'm talking about Phil and Dana Epstein, owners down there, downtown Hampton. The phone number is 723-7987. That's the Grey Goose.
And if you're looking for a nice lunch, take the wife or your girlfriend, if your wife's not around, and go down there and have a nice lunch. They got some of the greatest meals you've ever had. I'm telling you what. And they're open till 3 o'clock, and I love their shows. Bob and I have both been to them, and we're going again. So if you get a chance, you want to have a nice little lunch, that's where you need to head to, the Grey Goose.
The kickoff was taken at the 15-yard line.
Put him out at the 30.
So that's pretty easy. That's 15-yard return, right?
Well, that's the way I work. I have to do
that.
Simple math is my game. Like you said, you're talking about Bethel. Bethel's got to come out and establish something right now.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it takes them 10 minutes to grind it out. They've got to
get down. They've got to put some points on the board. But I'm anxious to see what Kecoughtan has done to stop the running of Bo Morgan. Bo's running really jump-started his team.
Yep.
He got a great pass. He made a great touchdown, missed the extra point. But let's see what adjustment these coaches have done. There it is right there. Why not run that?
Well,
Morgan
like
kept it.
But I was watching the middle linebacker stayed home, I thought, but he just stayed back 2 steps.
Yeah, well,
when
he
Morgan
wasn't
came
sure.
left, he was, he didn't come with him.
Right, he's got to look at. He's got certain keys.
Right.
And his first key is that back coming through the line. If he doesn't get the ball, then he's got to hustle out and try to help stop Morgan. Watch the replay here.
He just fooled everybody.
Nobody was around. He needs to get a little lower before he gets hit. He's standing too straight.
Well, it's 6'6". It's hard to get, but so low. And he's still going. Look at here. That's number 9. That's who I was talking about.
He just is.
Quentin
they
Lee.
couldn't see him. Quentin Lee is so strong. There were about 3 Warriors that had his hand on him. But this is what I'm talking about. Oh, we got a flag. We got an injured player down on the field.
Let's look at this again. See if we can pick up where the flag came in, Bob. Now, he's in the crowd, and all of a sudden he just breaks out. Not wrapping up.
Yep.
I wonder if it's going to be
It could be
number
helmet
10,
to helmet.
helmet to helmet.
Well, number 77 for the Bruins is being helped off the field. He's a guard, Travis Maxwell.
Personal foul, helmet contact against the defense, 15 yards, first down.
And Travis Maxwell, young man, 6'1", 329.
Yeah.
He walked off on his own, which was great.
Well, I'm glad nobody had to pick him up and carry him off of there.
Well, no one person would have done it.
That's why the ambulance is here. Come get that stretcher. 320 pounds. All right, well, Bethel has done just what they did on their first touchdown. They made their first touchdown in like 3 or 4 plays in a minute and 57 seconds, and they've moved the ball that quick from their own 30.
Both teams have been charged with a personal foul helmet to helmet tonight. 7 penalties for 55 yards against the Warriors. We got a flag in the backfield, and I'm not sure what that is. Personal foul against the Warriors is a preliminary signal. Okay, hitting the quarterback. And that was number 3 for the Bruins that got the pass that time.
That takes them up to 70 yards.
Desmond Danny.
Personal foul, helmet contact with the defense, half the distance, first down.
That makes it 64 yards in penalties and 8 penalties for Kecoughtan so far.
Well, that was Desmond Denny who got that pass. And now the Bruins are in great position to score.
It's 1st and 10, or 1st and 9.
Well, 1st and goal.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, it is.
Number 22 for the Bruins got the ball that time.
You just have to admire. I mean, they had him around the waist at the 11, and he drug 3 yards, Bob.
Yeah, that was DeAndre Gillis, who went to the right side, and they grabbed him, but they're not wrapping up the legs, and he picked up a couple yards that time.
There's a good shot on the sidelines of the injured player. He appeared to be looking at his forearm there.
Yeah, I thought it was his ankle at first, but
appeared to be looking at his right forearm a little bit. All right, here we come. 2nd down and about 7 or 8 for a touchdown. Goal to go.
oh, just a little high. And again, that was Ian Bell was the intended recipient of that pass. Brings up a 3rd.
Good opportunity. That was a good opportunity.
Yeah, because he had the inside.
He looked left. He looked wide. There it is. And now.
See, he had the position on number 2 for the Kecoughtan Warriors. That's Kevin Davis. Number 2 against number 2.
This brings up 3rd down, I believe.
Direct snap, and there goes Bo with the ball. He could score.
Okay, he put the ball out across the goal.
Well, he said he didn't.
Well, I'm telling you.
He blew that.
He's looking at the man and not looking at the ball. I don't know if in high school is that.
No, the ball crosses the goal line as a touchdown.
That's what I thought. But you watch him reach out here if they got this replay. And Bo looks back like, what are you talking about?
Well, maybe he thought he stepped out of bounds before he put the ball over. That's the only thing I can figure out.
Timeout, Bethel.
Now maybe we'll get a chance to see that.
Well,
play.
that's 4th down, so you got to get the touchdown here.
Yeah, if we can see that. I saw Morgan a little just unhappy at the end. Well, let's see. Here he goes. Watch him take that ball in his right hand when he gets by 10. Watch this. He's at the 1. The ball is inside the pylon.
They don't have replay in high school.
No. Now, just to give you what Morgan's been doing for the team, he's got 8 carries for 70 yards and 2 for 20 in the 2nd half.
Well, and now you have to factor in how many yards he lost on sacks.
Yeah.
I mean, offensively, he's got more yards than that, but it doesn't come out that way. Let's see what they're going to do.
Let's talk about this,
And
Bob.
I think they're just going to go right up the gut. I don't think they're going to try to do anything, but as big as he is, go right over the top, right there, straight ahead.
I don't know. You see anything from the officials?
I don't see a move from the officials. They didn't give it to him.
It sure looked like he got in there.
Well, we can't see from this angle, and if Steve's not all the way down on the goal line.
Lord. I gotta tell you, let's just see. Should have had the touchdown on the last play.
Well, you got, you know.
Officials
you
got a better
can't-
view. I can't
you
guess
can't
it from
see,
here.
You can't see the ball.
Yeah, I can't see it from here.
This game is also a full sponsored event. Thus, all parts of the rights and responsibility handbook are enforced. Thank you.
Well, here we go, 1st and 10. Kecoughtan got a long way to go, 99 plus yards. Timeout, Kecoughtan. He was counting players, and I don't think he was happy.
Grant, I want to talk about our cameras and our crew tonight. Cameras, Randy Bagoli, Susan Bowers, Ube Gabray, Steve Fryer. What a great job
Look at these
people are
on the
doing.
ground pictures, Bob. These are those
we
guys.
do it?
Who's down on the ground? Steve Fryer and who else? Randy Bagoli, aren't they on the ground?
They're
Look at
down there on the field. Graphics and animation, Matt Buckwalder. Slow motion instant replay, Krista Campbell. What a great job that
Yes,
we
sir.
had on that
Glad to have her back.
halftime. Camera control operator Greg Lesko, who is also engineer. Chief engineer Don Trouse, who is also our director. Audio and does audio. John does a lot tonight. Executive producer Andy Foley, and of course Brent Musgrove.
There's
Good shot of Randy. Brent Musgrove up here with Frank Edgar doing stats, Paul Rowe on the field, and I'm Bob Hintz.
You know what we haven't talked about? We're going to do players of. That's Randy's shot right there. We haven't talked about the player of the game and the T-shirts, of course.
Yeah,
Brought to you by Tidewater Team Sports
Thank you.
at over on Oyster Point Road. Of course, Dave Chubb and Terry McNamara, 5940411. They've got everything you want in sports needs. They embroidery. They can do sets of jerseys for you, whether you want inexpensive just for recreation basketball or whatever. Call these guys. They've been supporting Channel 5, Channel 29, Channel 48 for
46,
years.
whatever.
Whatever we've been, they've been there for us. And they do a great job. And thanks again, Terry and Dave. And Dave, I understand you're out of town, so I can talk about you.
Dead
Well,
ball.
thanks again, buddy. We appreciate it.
We got to delay a game. They were trying to
Delay
get the
game.
Bruins
Gets offense.
to go offside.
Let's see if he moves the football. He's got to
Well,
put it on the white
well,
line.
You get 1 inch.
That's what I'm saying.
But I see what they're trying to do,
trying
trying
to
to
draw
draw
them
them
off.
offside.
Sure.
You get 5 yards. The other way, you only get an inch.
That's right. Good call.
But you can give up 2 points real quick.
Look at here. Break it 3. Picked up out to the 10.
Pick up first down.
That's
and
Fugate again.
Fugate, I tell you, you got a 1-2 punch of Fugate Mitchell.
It's the comedian lawyer down here. Kecoughtan now has 9 penalties for 64 yards and 1 inch.
A good shot of Steve Fryer on the sideline. Well, that might be his best side. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, those guys down on the field, the weather's not bad right now, but as the season moves along, and that is Steve's shot right there. It's his favorite shot. But I'm telling you what, those guys have been run over more than once down there. And that's
Fugate
Mitchell.
again.
That's Mitchell, I think,
Oh,
number
that's
20.
it is Mitchell. You're right.
Number
They're both about the same size, and they both run about the same. And you just have trouble catching them because they get behind the lineman and you don't know where they're going.
You know, there's runners, there's quickness, there's all kinds of runners we've seen over the years. Smart runners don't have to be the fastest guy or the quickest guy if they know how to use their block.
That's right.
And when the hole presents itself, they're gone. Now you look how many extra yards. He's in there among more green and yellow than anybody else on the field, and he's still picking up yards.
Unless you're in Bethel's hub.
Yeah, and he's still picking up yards.
Picked up another first down.
Yeah.
That's 2 big first downs. Because you're on the 1 inch line. And what was that, Frank? That was a penalty?
69 yards and 1 inch in 9 penalties.
That's a good
That
shot of
is,
Susan up
now,
there.
I'm not going to say how old I am, but that is the shortest penalty I've ever seen. And a smart play by Kecoughtan. If they could draw it, fine. What are you going to do
there's
to me if I
Susan's-
don't?
Is that Susan's shot?
There it is to Carrera, that little hitch across the middle. You see that back step, picked up another 4 or 5 yards.
And he knew he was going to get hit, put his head down, and drove for the extra yard and a half to make sure he got the first down. That's 3 straight first downs for the Warriors.
Now, Bob, they tell me that this quarterback for Kecoughtan, they say he's, 6'1"? Let
Yeah.
me figure that out. I'm going to tell you what, now he's lost a few yards on that one tonight. That was out there to 24, the flanker. That was to Grandy, the #1 receiver in the district, by the way, is Grandy. Coming into tonight, he had 30 receptions. Well, the passes are being completed backwards.
You want passes, but you want positive yards. You're going to try it again you're going to do it until it gets right. That was number 24.
That was Grandy
Keith
again.
Grandy, yes.
And he's just a sophomore. And he's the leading receiver in the district.
5'9", 160.
And they've got him and Savage both back next year.
And they pretty good combination now.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first times that the Warriors did not get what they wanted on the first time, but they run 2 pass plays on this bubble screen to the right and didn't pick up any yard. Now they got 4th and 1, and you're in your own end of the
it's your
field. You got to
think 43.
You might want to think about bringing Chase Thomas in to punt, but no. They've got a lot of confidence in that offensive line, and they're running back. Mitchell.
He's going to get too much time here if they don't do something. They're going to have to call timeout here pretty quick. What's he waiting for?
Waiting for we got a timeout.
Well, that was a timeout. That was a timeout waiting to call a timeout.
Well,
and I think that only leaves Kecoughtan with one more timeout for the game.
Well, you look at the quarterback, and he's waiting. He's waiting for Savage is waiting for the call to come in, and it's not coming in. And it looks like, well, why is he waiting? Well, he's disciplined enough to know I gotta wait for the coach to tell me what we're going to run.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Wube Gabre, my buddy. Wube, of course, means first son. I call him #1 son. Good shot there, Wube.
Here comes Ube's shot right here. From high up above the Darling Stadium, looking down on the field, Ube Gabre.
Hey, do we have a shot of the people in the truck? We used to do that every now and then.
Just to give you how even this thing is for Kecoughtan, Fugate's 9 carries for 85 yards. Mitchell is 10 carries for 80 yards. Is that a balanced rushing attack?
Yes, it is.
He's got the first down and some. He picked up about 9 yards on that play.
He is their bread and butter. You give me the ball, I'm going to pick up enough yards to get that first down.
Yeah, well, again, we talked about smart runners. You see how he went down that line looking
for the area where he can come in, make a little juke step, get the defense to commit.
That's a class of 1979 from Kecoughtan High School.
1979, they're still partying.
Yeah, they don't look that old, Mal. You and I look a whole lot older than that.
We do?
Yeah, I hate to say it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I don't want to tell you what my class is.
Start with a 0.
Well, I remember Alonzo Stagg when he first started coaching. And his
number 57
his main
for Kecoughtan
pupil was a guy by the name of New Rockney.
Number 57 for Kecoughtan's down on the field.
All right, we've got Ray Smith down there with Paul. Come on, Paul.
All right, hello, guys. How are you? I'm down here on the Bethel sideline, and behind me are a group of students who have all dressed in black tonight, and they're calling it a blackout here at the game. I've got Ray Smith, the athletic director of Bethel High School. Ray, tell us about this blackout.
Well, this is our homecoming week, and it's been a great week at our school. I'm not real sure who came up with the idea, but there's been so much enthusiasm. I wish the score was a little bit better. We've got our former cheerleaders here, and it's a good night. And a lot of these kids I taught, and they're great. I hope it carries over into basketball season.
Well, I hope it does too. They have been really fantastic tonight. There they are, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Paul. We come back. Here we go already.
That was Fugate trying to get outside.
Well, he picked up a positive about 3 or 4 yards.
Well, Paul always has a tough job, You're looking around and people always smiling. Paul's always smiling. Just as long as we don't let him sing, we're okay. He's not a bad singer, but I don't want to build his ego up.
Don't do that.
Well, now Mr. Fugate has now got 12 carries for 100 yards and 3 TDs tonight.
Wow. We could end up with 200-yard rushes tonight for the
Kecoughtan,
Warriors.
yeah.
For the Warriors, yeah.
Nice.
It's Carrera. When he decides to pass to Carrera, he's wide open. Watch this. I don't know if they got a replay, but I was watching Carrera come off that line. He finds the open spot.
Here's a replay on right now. See if we got the whole. Here, it's come right at you, folks.
There, he just went by you.
Then right there, picks up another 5-7 yards after the catch. I'm gonna tell you, it takes a special receiver to catch that ball across the middle.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense.
Another 5-yard penalty.
Well, I'm not sure what Kecoughtan is trying to do with that bubble screen. They have only had one play out of about 7 passes for the double screen that resulted in positive yards. That ball was almost intercepted.
Yeah.
And if you intercept a bubble screen, you go.
Adios.
It's to the house.
Well, they're trying to get it out. Let's just see how this works.
I
See
like
him
the
take
way
his cut. Look at it. He's still fighting.
I love the way he makes the
young
moves.
man.
And he sets up the blockers so good. Carrera, 3 catches for 44 yards
And
over the middle.
And all of them been first downs.
That-
Have been what I'd call an out pass. In other words, I need 7 yards, I need 10 yards, bang, right there. it is.
Watch
Like,
the replay here.
This is Fugate.
He
Take
just
it in.
looks for the spot right there.
And
He's always moving, always thinking, try not to let you get a solid hit on it.
That was a nice tackle by the Bethel Bruins right there. They wrapped him up, and they did a good job. There's a little flip out. Good idea. Pick up 5 yards.
Picked up the first down.
I don't know if he did it.
This could be a 99 and 11-inch
Drive.
Well, we know where that is.
That's a record you don't want to put up on your defensive stats, do you?
Oh, man.
But I'm telling you what, Kecoughtan's running a controlled, managed offense, play by play. Look at that. Boom. Carrera again across the middle. He finds the open spot is what I like.
Yeah.
And Savage is patient enough to hit him in it.
You gotta love the way how smart these guys are. Everybody thinks dumb football players. These are intelligent young men who have done well academically and have taken that intelligence onto the football field.
I've said this before when I saw him play the first time. This young man Savage last year impressed me. It's very nice to see what Coles has been able to get these kids to buy into, bring this talent along. It's just been a real joy to watch this from last year, to watch this thing develop, Bob.
99 yards, 11 inches.
Here we come back. Here's the touchdown right here. I mean, this play's wide open. There's Carrera round up wide here, split out. Goes down, gets by his man, just looks back, and there's the ball coming to him.
And he holds the ball up. I did not drop it.
Yeah. Just to let you know, Mr. Savage now is 14 for 18 for 113 yards.
Wow.
Now that's controlled passing. I mean, 8 yards, 9 yards, 12 yards. And as our statistician extraordinaire has said, we've just witnessed the longest drive I've ever seen.
As long as what I've ever seen.
12 plays, 99.8 yards. Now this man is good. That's a lawyer for you right there, buddy. 96.8 yards. Took 5 minutes and 35 seconds on that drive, and now the score.
And it won. There was one. It was only 1 inch, but there was only 1 4th down conversion.
That's right.
Okay, guys, we'll go down to the field. Paul, what you got for us?
Well, I've been listening to you guys talk about the 99 and 8 inches or something, and yard-and-a-half penalty. What you don't understand was just before Kecoughtan called that play where they had the penalty, Fugate must have said something like, guys, I need to get back another half inch before I start my run just to get some extra power. And once he did that, he was clear and open. He was able to get the yardage. And then you saw that controlled offense all the way down the field. Once again, the great maturity of that young kid, Savage, as he led the Warriors 99 yards for a touchdown.
Well, what he was trying to do, Paul, he was trying to draw him offside, get a quick 5-yard penalty on him. They wouldn't come offside.
Yeah, we kept saying, you know, guys, they're not coming offside, so why don't you run the play? But that's when I think Fugate said, wait a minute, I need to get back just a little bit more. So hold tight here.
Thanks, Paul.
I wasn't comfortable. It was a little dip there in the sod.
Yeah, and by the way, just for what it's worth, just my opinion, we were down here when Bethel was running for the touchdown, and you saw Bo extend the ball from where I was. It looked like he was out of bounds before he crossed the goal line. However, on the touchdown, in my eyes, it looked like he was in from here. So who knows? The referee's got a better view than we do.
Well, we got a chance at a second replay, and like you said.
But what he did that time is when he was reaching up to knock the ball down, he put his hand on the offensive player and pushed him out of the way. That's why there's a defensive pass interference call. And that'll be 15 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, let's see that if you've got it again.
Defensive pass interference, 15 yards, first down.
There we go. Let's see what he's talking about. You'll see where the man put his hand on the receiver. Good pass. I say you'll see it.
Now, we got there late.
But it was a good idea. Just wanted to see that football bouncing around because we hadn't had a chance to see that yet. And here we go. 1st and 10 for the Bruins.
There he goes.
Oh, no. Fumble.
And he fumbled the ball.
Fumbled the ball.
Well, he thought he had the chance to change directions and ran right into a defense, and Kecoughtan gets the turnover. Second turnover. They got the pass interception and this one. This is the first fumble, right?
Yeah, first fumble.
Warriors picking it up.
Well, it'll be a turnover. Be at the 42-yard line with 3:51 left in the third quarter. Kecoughtan has scored again here in this half, and it is now 34-6. And Bethel didn't need that, but he was just trying to do anything he could to make a play, and you understand that.
Well, in hindsight, he should have gone ahead and tried to pick up yardage straight ahead because the defense was going to close in on him. He just
tried to make more out of it.
Yeah, and you can't fault him for that.
Just laid it right in there, and that's to number 24. Guess who that is?
Let me tell you, that was his second choice. He was looking at the man going down to the right side of the field. He was covered, found the man across the middle. Great pass.
And again, that was Grandy, and he laid it in there with 6 touch. This young man's got a lot of future to look to, I'm telling you. He's got a lot of future. Right now, there was a young man that came out of Phoebus that went to Clemson. That was a good passer. But right now, as a junior, this young man has shown me every bit as much, if not more, passing potential than I remember in those days.
It's awful a lot of time.
Yeah, looks off defenders. He looks at receivers. Now, he went to at least 3 receivers on that pass.
And see, we don't see that much in high school. No. What you see is the primary receiver, he locks on him and never, but the reason he's able to do that is because the line is protected. He's got all kinds of time to sit back there. And Jerry Saunders, let's go do an interview.
Yeah, if you watch this at home, Jerry, Bob's been talking to you. I'm not going to ask you anymore. Going to come by your front porch and interview your wife, okay? All right, let's just see if Mr. Savage can keep this going. I wish I'd have shown that replay, but I love to watch the way this kid looks over the field. Looking right, stepping up, floating out. He's going to take off and run it, go out of bounds. Smart play.
Smart play. He didn't have the man he wanted or didn't have the time to set and throw, picked up positive yardage.
Savage, 16 for 20 for 148 yards. Now, when he came into tonight, he had thrown 111 times. Okay? So that's 121 plus that's 127 attempts now with 2 interceptions.
I'm impressed with your addition.
Well, I didn't tell you. I started counting about 5 minutes ago before I brought it up. Yes,
Well, you did graduate from Hampton High School,
I
right?
graduated. They called me and told me.
But then you didn't pick up your diploma for 10 years, right?
You get what? They told me I was through. I said, thank you. I'll see you. And 10 years later, they called my wife and asked if she wanted the diploma. And she said, no, he's got a pretty good job, but I'll come by and pick it up.
Looking at, looks like they're looking at the leg, and I cannot see the number of the warrior that's hurt.
6-0, Tolliver.
That's Tolliver. 6-0 for Kecoughtan is Devin Olivas. It was 60?
60.
Yeah, he's just a junior, 6'1", 260, if that's who it is.
Look at it. I tell you what, I love that ground shot.
Yeah, it is 60.
Now, look at this ground shot right here, Bob, on the screen. The people will see that at home. It's just amazing to me, the clarity that this is going to be.
Randy Pagola's shot.
Well, you're way ahead of me. I can't keep up.
Well, I know Randy's down that end of the field. That's because I used to be down there.
That's right.
But this is where I belong.
How many catches?
All right, we're coming back. Glad to see the young man to walk off on his own. Maybe just a little bruise or something. Savage is back on the pass again.
Throwing long for the corner.
Well, I tell you, number 90 had as good a shot at that ball as he did. Number 90, that's Josh.
Awusa.
Watch this replay. He did a great job because the ball is up in the air a long time. So he got a great job to come over, and you can see he had as good a chance to go. And that's what makes a good defensive player. I'm going to try to catch it too.
But I'm not going to let you have it.
But
But you know
You're
what?
not going to get it.
You got to give Fugate some credit on that too, because like you said, Bethel had a shot at that ball. Nobody came down with it. If he didn't get it, nobody got it.
Yep.
There's Mitchell with the ball. He's trying to round the corner.
And he went down because he got tripped up on the
cut.
On the cut. That was Ian Bell. Great job. I tell you, we've got to be thinking about players of the game, but this is going to be tough.
Well, Mitchell.
David Chubb is good. He's out of town, you said.
Yep.
We can talk about him. All right, what do we got? We got 3rd and 6. They're going to pass. He is going to pass. And guess who? Carrera. And Carrera gets in the end zone.
He just would not be denied.
He's not going to stop. That's his second touchdown, right?
Yeah, I think so, and it's his 5th reception for Kecoughtan. Okay.
All right.
After the kick, we're going to take a look. There's Mr. Chase Thomas out on the field.
Boy, they got in on that thing.
They were there quick. Everybody got there with the ball.
The ball got there and everybody else was there.
Well, I think we're still in the 3rd quarter. Yep. Here we go. Let's take a look at this touchdown. You'll see
He was not going to be denied.
Nice pass right there. Boom. He's hit head up. Not yet. Boom. 2 people have got him, and he is just going to take him into the end zone.
He just showed some strength.
Good Lord.
Right there. And that's what makes him a great basketball player, too.
Yeah,
he gets the hand on the ball. You're not going to get the ball away from him.
And he plays as good a position in basketball as anybody I've seen for 6'3" in a long time. That drive, Bob, went 6 plays, 58 yards in 2 minutes and 19 seconds.
So we have a turnover for a touchdown. We had 2 turnovers for touchdowns,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
They ended up getting touchdowns off of
And a kickoff return.
that special teams.
Doing a job, or the defense is doing
Well,
it.
he's got this young Mr. Chase Thomas just pumping the ball over. Not going to let you run it because Bethel's got some kids with pretty good speed out there.
Coach has got a good game plan. He's going to put it in a place where they can get there before you can get much of a run going.
Well, they made some adjustments last week on their defense because they felt like they gave too many points up to Hampton. And their defense did a great job, but the only thing that's hurting them tonight, running the ball, is Bo Morgan.
Yeah, and the one long touchdown pass. Caught at about the 21.
Oh, wow.
Well, folks, that's what Bob calls a scrum.
Not only a scrum, but he was hit back at the 35 and ends up at the 50. Well, they're going to move him back to 49. I'd give him 50 for effort.
All that effort, yeah, it ought to be a bonus.
Something. I don't know how you work that in.
Boom, boom. Not yet. Still going. Still going.
Give him that extra yard. Give him that 50-yard line.
It's absolutely amazing. And he was not ready to go down, buddy.
But
Well,
everybody's hitting him high.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking his legs out from under him.
Yeah. 1:18 to go in the third quarter. Bethel trailing Kecoughtan 40-6.
And there's the first sack for number 72 for the Kecoughtan Warriors, and that's Chris Pauling. And Chris has been with Coach Coley for 4 years, been a starter for 4 years.
I think you might have
12th grade, 5'11", 280.
you paid attention. You know, Kecoughtan's front four didn't come flying in that time. They more or less held their position.
The only one that really went hard was Carrera. If you look at number 6,
but the other guys
he's making that guy work.
Yeah, but the other guys held their holes. I mean, didn't give them any play. Instead of everybody getting spread out, they're forming a defensive line, so perhaps Morgan don't get as much room to run.
Oh, nice run. Oh!
Stood him straight up.
Was that a penalty?
I don't see do you see a flag?
Yeah. It looks like holding.
Is it holding or helmet to helmet?
No, holding. So that's from the point of the foul, which is almost at the first down marker. So it's going to be 10 yards.
Holding during the run, 10 yards, replay second.
Oh, that hurt Bethel a little bit. That moves them back. It's going to make it 2nd and 20 now.
The ball will be back up for the Bruins 39-yard line. Second down and 20.
All right.
He's got to put the ball in the air now.
Oh,
Good
that was a
delivery.
good job coming back to the ball, but he lost yardage.
Yeah, he picked up about, well, now it's about 7. He had about 9, but like I say, he tried to make a play out of it. You got to do that now.
You can't fault the young man for trying to do it, but Kecoughtan has been gang tackling all night. When one guy hits him, 2 or 3 will hit him, but sometimes it doesn't make any difference because the line still pushes them.
Well, it's the end of the third quarter, according to the clock anyway.
Yeah, that is the end of the third quarter. And why I got this thing, I'm going to talk about the Grey Goose. You and I love Grey Goose. Now, Dana has been just everything for us. downtown Hampton. They're open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 3. They serve a wide variety of delicious lunches, and the famous, of course, is the chicken salad and their Brunswick stew, which is just as tasty as you can expect.
With a ham biscuit, of
Oh,
course.
you get that ham biscuit with that, it's awesome. If you're looking to have an event catered, give them a call. Phil and Dana Epstein down there, the owners. You and I have gone down there. We've eaten lunch down there. We've gone to their specials. They've got the one going on now, the I Love Lucy murder special. And then in December, they've got the Southern Harmony, which is a spectacular three-course dinner with a show. $35, can't beat it.
If you are looking for a nice evening out, that's a nice place to go. Casual atmosphere, everybody friendly. And it's a family show. It's just everybody sits down and they talk with you and they come around and you meet everybody. It's just a great place to go. If you get a chance, go catch one of their special shows. All right, fourth quarter. And they are now not allowing Mr. Morgan to make any yardage. They are getting to him now the last couple of times.
You got to love the sportsmanship. They tackled him. They put a hand out to help him up. These guys know each other.
Yeah.
This is a cross-town rivalry, but they still know each other.
Some of them went to school together at one time or another in elementary or junior high school.
And they played Little League together. They played
Pee-wee
Port
football.
Warner or Pee-wee or whatever it's called.
Tells you how old I am.
What's that?
Pee-wee football. Ooh,
Boy, they
almost
come
got
close.
to it.
That ball went straight up in the air, and it's bouncing back.
Kicker went down like he was hurt, but
I didn't see anybody hit him.
I didn't see any
But
contact.
he may have come down awkward, thinking he was going to get hit.
Yeah, he may have tried to avoid it and hurt himself.
Yeah.
And he may have been hit. We just didn't see it. There have been a few missed calls, I'm suggesting, tonight. But
and that's Chase Deaton.
Yeah, they don't need to get him hurt.
It looks like it's they're working on his, I'm not sure if it's his knee or his hip.
Yeah, they're working.
Oh, I think it's got a cramp. It looks like he's trying to stretch it out. I hope that's all it is.
Let me tell you something, buddy. I don't know about anybody else. That's some painful stuff right there.
Well, what happened, now this is the Kecoughtan. They went together and hit each other. Let's go down to Paul.
Yeah, Bob, that's what I was trying to tell you. Number 25, and I'm sorry I don't know his name. All night long, he has almost blocked every punt on the field. And tonight, just as he was getting in there, he got body slammed by one of the other Kecoughtan defenders, and they just kind of crossed each other body-wise and just, I think, knocked his breath out, and I hope nothing else is hurt.
Well, that's Goldie Clinton, for your information. Goldie Clinton.
Goldie Clinton. Yeah, he's playing a whale of a game on defense.
He's doing a good job walking off. He's a little help, but it's good to see him be able to make it out on his own.
Yeah, I think he just got the wind knocked out of him because he took a hit from one of his own teammates. But he's been in there very close to blocking the punt on every one tonight.
We've been talking about that. Good point, Paul. Thank you.
Well, they had a nice crisscross, Paul, on that punt. I mean, just two guys missed it at the same time and hit each other. Well, let's see if Kecoughtan stays as meticulous as they have been. They got a new runner in, I think. Is that number 20? Or is that Mitchell? I can't tell. Couldn't tell. I lost the number on that one. That's what I thought. It was a new player.
Run the ball that time.
Yeah, that was Zapelia Barnes?
Barnes, yes.
I'll spell
Well,
that.
all you want to do now
Lead
is
formation, get the offense. 5 yards, replay down.
illegal formation.
Now, they haven't even gotten into a stance yet. How can that be?
6 men on line.
He didn't have, you got to have 7 people on the line of
Yeah,
scrimmage.
but they hadn't run the play yet.
Well, no, that was for the play before.
Oh, okay.
So it goes back to the line of scrimmage, the prior line of scrimmage, and it goes back and it becomes first down again, right?
Okay, I missed that completely when he threw that flag. That'd be the second thing I've missed this year. And what is this? September? October? That's the third
You
thing
just,
I've missed.
you
That's
just, I
the
was going
third
to say
thing
you
I've
just
missed.
missed another one.
38-yard line. Still first down, now 15.
It's number 32. Oh, I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you, number 32, Barnes, 5'8", 150. He's probably the youngest, the smallest kid out there on the field.
No, they got somebody 5'6".
No, I'm talking weight-wise. He's only 150.
Yeah.
Oh, I got another one. That's
Face
one-
mask against the defense, 5 yards, replay the down.
Wait a minute.
Well, it's from the point of infraction.
Okay.
So they actually picked up about 5 yards
More.
more, and now it's 1st and 5.
So replay first down, or now 1st and 5 for the Warriors.
Not 4, but that's good. He's just not quitting. These runners are just not quitting, buddy.
Well, and it's not that they're not only not quitting, but the Bruins are tackling high and not taking the legs out from under them.
Well, I got to tell you, that young man's 5'6" is hard to tackle high. I mean,
You mean hard to tackle low?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, there's
You gotta
nothing
get
up
on
high.
your knees.
You got to get down there to get that young man, and he's so quick. I mean, that's what I like. I mean, he is to the hole and is moving, and then when they've hit him, he's still spinning out of it.
I don't think that we're going to see any passes.
They need a
Kecoughtan
first
just
down.
wants to run the clock. Well, look at me be wrong. What a nice route run that time. You saw the wideout number 1 go, and that's Price went to the right, and the other young man who caught that ball that time went left, and they just crisscrossed, and they opened wide up. Watch the replay, Brent.
I was looking at, checking my roster. I'm getting a few names.
Well, you can't see but see the other kid just went by,
Yeah.
and that was number 15, Chisley, who got the reception.
That's what I thought. It was Mike Tiller, number 15.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong roster.
All right. Well, we got 9:28 left to go in the fourth quarter, Bob. I have to tell you, I'm quite surprised at the score I'm looking at.
I am too.
Here's Bethel, who knocked off undefeated. What was it, Heritage? Heritage last week, 23-20. And I just expected this to be such a tight, close game tonight when they came in.
But you got to be impressed with the play calling of the Warriors.
I'm not only impressed.
Very consistent, very
Methodical.
methodical. That's the word I'm looking for.
Well, I'm not only impressed with their offense, I'm impressed with their defense. I mean, look at that pass.
But look at the run after. There was no blockers there. 0 blockers. And he had to pick up at least 8 to 10 more yards after the reception.
And again, that's Keith Grandy, the number 1 receiver in the district. And you see why. He's smooth. He takes the ball right in stride. Look where the ball is put, though. This is just put right on the money. Might have been tipped a little bit. I don't know.
Nice side step there. Another side step. There are 5 Bruins around him, and he finally goes down, but he's just so elusive.
Well, one way you keep Bethel from scoring is you stay on the field all night. And it's just that simple.
You keep your offensive there, and that's what they've done. Whoa.
Yeah.
It looked like that might have been a horse collar, but it was not called.
Yep. I have to see that a little closer because it sure looked like they grabbed him from behind.
Well, you grab the jersey, you just can't grab it around the
You
neck.
can't grab the collar and stuff.
Lost a couple yards.
Look like a lot of happiness right there on the bench right now. I hope everything's all right. Well, Savage is now 18 for 23 for 195 yards. That's 129 attempts this year with 2 interceptions.
Wow.
And what has he thrown? 4 more TVs tonight. at least
He's
4.
Two to Carrera that I know of. One.
One to Fugate, I think, or 2. I'm not sure. But anyway.
I know Fugate got one.
He came in leading the district Savage, leading the district in
Well, he
with
didn't
15
have
TDs.
done anything to hurt his stats.
No, he's got at least 18 or 19 now throwing TDs this season.
Now this will bring up the first 4th down in a long time for the Warriors. And I think they're going to bring Chase Thomas out. So
give him a chance.
Yeah, let's kick a field goal.
So that's going to make it 22, 28-yard. 28-yard field goal attempt, I think, Bob's about what it's going to be. If you had to. It's not 18 yards.
It's 28 yards.
Well, that's a sad little spike to put into this thing. I mean, Kecoughtan has shown every way you want to score. They've scored it tonight, offense, defense.
Well, not only that, they special teams.
Yeah.
Field goal, passes, runs.
Kickoff returns.
I don't
interceptions.
I don't know what else they could.
We're getting a little feedback downstairs. This game's taking a little bit of time, but I don't understand it because Kecoughtan's completing their passes, and so only time the clock stops is on the first downs, which I'm not even sure how many first downs they've got tonight. It's got to be up there. But it's just quite an offensive display. I don't know what else to say by Kecoughtan. And I know Bethel's just got to be, I'm going to say it, dumbfounded that Kecoughtan has been able to score at will almost.
Well, but what's hurt Bethel is they turned the ball over a couple times when they were moving. They did not score down at when they're on the 1 yard line or wherever that was, 1 foot line. And that 2 of those things really hurt you.
Right now, Kecoughtan has 17 first downs for the evening. That was number 15 who bobbled it a little bit, was smart enough to recover it. Okay, guys, as the game goes along, we got Paul back down on the field. What you got for us, Paul?
Hey, guys, I've been listening to what you've been saying, and I've been down here on the Bethel side. The Kecoughtan offense has been out on the field for most of the second half. And on the sideline, you can see it in the Bethel players. They look tired. They look real tired. You can't stay out there on defense the whole time that Kecoughtan has the ball, minute after minute, play after play, and not get tired after a while. And after a while, that just leads into something that you don't want to accept, and that is that you're not going to do well.
Yeah, I think you summed it up pretty well, Paul. Thank you. You're down there on that sideline, and you can see not a whole lot of spirit down there right now.
Well, we'll get you some.
Well, it's 5:11 left to go, Bob, and we've talked about players of the games. I think we have some ideas. Move it back and forth. First, let me say this, if you will. We again like to thank Terry McNamara and Dave Chubb at Tidewater Team Sports because they've been supplying these jerseys for the players of the game for years. And what Bob and I do, or the other announcers do, they select these players. And Dave.
And it doesn't mean the other players. There's not other people that would deserve it also.
We try to spread it around so one person doesn't get 9 of them. We get to the playoffs, we start over again. But my point being is that Dave Chubb and Terry McNamara have been doing this for a long time, and we really do appreciate it. So if you need anything in a sporting way or paraphernalia or a thing like that, give them a call at 594-0411. Or go out and see them on Oyster Point Boulevard.
They do the embroidery. They do all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to go with the player of the game. I'm going with the Bethel Bruins. I'm going to go with Bo Morgan.
Well,
watch this replay. And this is a great run this time by number 22, and that's Gillis, DeAndre Gillis.
I think that's the longest offensive play other than the pass that they've had tonight.
Yeah. But Bethel didn't start doing anything till Morgan started running the ball. He jump-started them, and it's done a great job. And to me, player of the game.
I think you're absolutely right.
Okay.
As Bo Morgan. And the other, Kecoughtan.
Prior snap, encroachment on the defense.
There's so
5
many,
yards.
there's so many ways we could go. And last time we gave it, when Kecoughtan played Hampton, we gave it to Mitchell, the running back, over 200 yards that night. Tonight, we're gonna go with Mr. Savage, the quarterback. There's no doubt about it, he deserves it. And Fugate could just as well get it. But Mr. Savage has directed this offense from one end of the field to the other. Very calm, put the ball on the money, done everything you can ask a high school quarterback to do, and much, much more. It's quite a professional
We're going
showing.
with both quarterbacks tonight.
And that's where we are. We're going with Morgan for Bethel and Savage for Kecoughtan. Kecoughtan tonight, even with all the yardage they've piled up and with all the points they've put on the board, they've had 12 penalties. He ain't gonna let it go. For 79 yards and 1 inch, I like the way you play it. The 1 inch is there. That's what happened. And he's a lawyer. He wouldn't tell you anything but the truth. And that's the way it was. Thanks, Frank. I have to tell you, thank you and Paul both for making this easy for me. This is not usually my normal spot.
That could.
But I appreciate all the help you've given us, Frank, and Paul down on the field for all the information. We appreciate all the help tonight. Thank you for making this a little bit easier.
That could have been a lateral. I wasn't sure. I couldn't see the angle of the pass, but it went out of bounds, but they said incomplete pass.
We've watched that a couple of times this year, both from Quillen and from Savage in different games, and it's all been awful close there a couple of times.
Well, that time was Bo Morgan throwing it.
Yep.
And just overthrew him, but I couldn't tell if it was forward or lateral.
Fumble, and Kecoughtan has recovered the ball. Handed off on the handoff, they never was successful. And part of it, if you see that again, the runner was 2 steps in front, away from the quarterback. Quarterback had to reach out to put the ball in the stomach.
The timing was off.
Yeah, he had to reach out to put it in the stomach. And yeah, if we could see this, you'll see what I'm talking about. You see the distance between the quarterback and the running back. And he's right there in front of you. But see, he's reaching out for him. See what I'm talking about? He never got the ball. And I'm not so sure he knew it was his play because he just kept going.
Well, and the center centered the ball high too that time.
Which took a little bit of the timing off.
Yeah.
Well, closing out on the fourth quarter, Bob. I'm going to say it one more time. I am startled at the score. I'm very impressed with Kecoughtan's offense and defense. I've seen spots from Bethel that have really impressed me. I know that Coach Hooker can't be real pleased with how this went tonight. I think he's probably just as surprised as we are.
Yeah, and I'm like you. I thought it was going to be a close game.
Dead ball, delay game.
I just never thought that it would be a 43-6.
Now, I just didn't see it coming.
No, but you look at what Kecoughtan Warriors did. Coach Coley and his offensive staff did a great game plan.
Yeah.
They stuck to it, and it worked.
And I think of at least 3 times they were third down or second and third down with 27 yards or 25 yards to go, and they picked it up. They picked up the first down.
That's what I'm saying. They never panicked. Never panicked.
Well, here we are, Bob. Game closed out. Final score of this game, of course, is Kecoughtan Warriors 43, the Bruins 6. What an offensive display by the Kecoughtan Warriors. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into LSC. It's been a great night for Bob and I, and I'm going to turn it over to my friend Bob to let everybody know who's been here and helped us out tonight. And thank you all for putting up with us.
Thank our crew. And there's a good shot of Brent right there. We got Frank up here with us doing the stats, Paul down on the field. This is a great crew. The camera people, the people in the truck. We need to get a camera in the truck so we can see who these people are we talk about. Don Shiraz, Greg Lesko, Krista Campbell, Andy Foley, Matt Buckwalter. They need to see these people do a great job. They've been out here at 1 o'clock today.
Since
Great
1
job.
o'clock so that you people can see this game. And,
And don't forget our camera people.
Yep.
Steve Fry and Andy Bagoli on the sideline, Susan Bowers and Wu Baker Bray up in the stands.
And let me give one And one more shout out. Thanks to both coaches for helping us out during the week. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it from Darling Stadium. For October the 3rd, 2014, it was the Kecoughtan Warriors 43 and the Bethel Bruins 6. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.